I'm Carissa Williamson, and this has been Your Government in Action, a proud presentation of Bahamas Information Services. Join us on Tuesday evenings where we bring you highlights, coverage, and information as we continue to do what we do best, linking people and government.
At Rusty Bethel Drive, I'm Paisol Forbes. This is ZNS.
It's What's Trending with Jiminita Swain and the Bahama Beauty. At the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas from Studio A. It all starts right now.
Hello and welcome everyone. It's Tuesday, March 18th, and you're tuned into the ultimate destination for all things lifestyle, entertainment, and everything in between. I'm Jiminita Swain, and you're watching What's Trending, the show where we bring you the latest trends, hottest news, and insider tips on living your best life. Whether you're here for fashion, food, fitness, or the latest buzz from social media, we've got you covered. Let's dive in. At least one local airline, Western Air, is voicing concerns about the impact on business following the closure of runway 1432 at the Lynden Pindling International Airport. In a social media post, the airline explained that the runway currently undergoing repairs has caused significant delays and disrupted on-time service. Airline officials noted that a typical 35-minute flight from Freeport to Nassau is now taking up to an hour and a half in some cases. Additionally, some flights have been diverted due to extended wait times for landing clearance. Well, shipping containers in the Bahamas and the wider Caribbean are concerned about potential multi-million-dollar increases in container shipping costs due to proposed U.S. policy. The U.S. Trade Representative's plan suggests imposing a $1 million port fee on Chinese-built vessels calling at U.S. ports, which could significantly rise freight costs. While the proposal is still under public review, companies like Tropical Shipping warn that it could disrupt the region's supply chain. And in sad news, David Stephen Cohen, the head writer of the beloved 90s animated series Courage the Cowardly Dog, has passed away. He died after a battle with cancer, as confirmed by animation historian Jerry Beck. Cohen played a crucial role in shaping the eerie and surreal storytelling that made Courage the Cowardly Dog both a beloved and unsettling children's series on the Cartoon Network. Now, while John R. Dilworth created the show, Cohen joined the writing team in its first season and eventually became head writer, crafting many of the most memorable episodes in seasons 2, 3, and 4. Well, we have an interesting show for you today. BTC is in studio telling you about deals you don't want to miss out on, and the Perfume Bar is here to help you find your perfect scent. This and so much more after the break. You're watching What's Trending.
Keeping you in the know, keeping you in the know. God, that's good enough to eat, that is good to grow. It's good enough to eat, that is good to grow.
The Bahamas Department of Correctional Services is now home to 100 new feathered residents, layer hens donated by the Department of Agriculture. Additionally, the department donated a number of agricultural supplies to the facility. Minister of Agriculture and Marine Resources Jomo Campbell says the goal of this initiative is part of the government's broader push for food security and self-sufficiency.
Today's donation is a part of an even broader strategy. By equipping bee dogs with egg-laying chickens and agricultural resources, we are not only reducing the cost burden, on the taxpayers, but are also creating a sustainable food source within the institution. This will help ease the financial strain that the Commissioner mentioned associated with feeding inmates.
The initiative was welcome news to National Security Minister Wayne Monroe, who says he's hoping that the facility can also assist with the ongoing Golden Youth program.
Mr. Campbell, we've already looked at where that house could be. That could be a part of the Golden Youth. We've already looked at it. Mr. Clare has scoped it out. There's more than enough space. And if you look at all of the construction going on here, we have some of the best contractors, I think 3 of them, who were with us for a while. And so, don't want to say I'm ungrateful for the 100, but we will be coming back to try and be a part of that Golden Youth program.
Officials say this donation provides an opportunity for rehabilitation. Minister Campbell says the Department of Agriculture will also provide technical expertise to ensure the program's success. Keeping you in the know with Good to Grow, I'm Kendia Smith.
This March, BTC is spreading love with a variety of exciting promotions, cutting-edge technology, and community-driven events that are sure to make waves across the Bahamas. From the Mo Love campaign to exclusive offers and their Vote TE promotion, BTC is committed to enhancing the customer experience and staying connected to the community. In studio, Naji Roll and Chelsea Fowler from BTC to give us the inside scoop on these initiatives and find out how they're planning to make this month one to remember. Welcome to What's Trending, ladies.
Thank you.
Now, Chelsea, let's get right into this Mo Love campaign. Can you tell us what inspired this campaign and what BTC hopes to achieve with it?
Okay, so BTC, we want to show our love and appreciation for our customers. So we are targeting our fixed customers, our current broadband customers. So once you sign up for a $64.99 or higher mobile postpaid plan, you can receive a $200 Bahamas Air voucher.
So that sounds like a good deal. But what would someone say that who hasn't experienced this Mo Love campaign yet and they're curious about how it could benefit them? What would be your pitch to them?
So the pitch is, BTC has always been the company that everyone loves, right? So we've given back to the nation as a whole. So we've also partnered with Bahamas Air. And you know that summer is coming up, Easter is coming up, where persons are traveling. So if you want to not only go to the family islands, you can go to Jamaica, Havana, Cuba. So come on down to BTC. We're here for you.
Awesome. And BTC always has great offers for its customers. Can you share some of the exciting promotions and deals BTC is offering for us this month?
One of our major deals this month that we do have going on, we want you to come back home. Basically, any customers that might have went to the other guys, we want you to come back. So once you port back into BTC, you're able to keep your same number. Once you port back in, you get a smartphone for $89. You can't beat that. So we just want you to come back home. We're going to forgive and forget, but we want you to come back home.
All right, so how do these offers cater to the needs of different customer segments, whether they're on postpaid or prepaid?
Yeah, so we have a lot of different deals for our postpaid and prepaid customers. When you sign up on a postpaid plan, let's just say you sign up on our $64.99 plan, you get the iPhone 15 for $5.99. You can't beat that. And then we just have our standard combo plans, the $15.99 combo plan, which everybody loves. You get data, everybody likes to WhatsApp, send photos, and all that good stuff. So we always cater to both.
Awesome, that sounds good. So BTC's Volt Voice over LTE promotion has everything buzzing so far. For those unfamiliar, can you explain what Volt LTE is and how it benefits customers?
So lots of time you may think it's your service that's a bit rocky, but it might be your SIM card. We have these things for years. You don't even think about switching it out, but now we're promoting once you had your SIM for 3 or more years, you go inside the mall at Marathon or Southwest Plaza, and we change it for free of cost. Just come on in. It may take you like 10 to 15 minutes, but it's free of charge. So we want to promote that just so you can experience our service at its highest, you know?
So you get up-to-date SIM card.
Yes, for free. You can't, you know.
No more interruptions.
Yeah, if that was your problem. It might have been your phone, we don't know.
Well, March is packed with events, and BTC is known for being a part of key community happenings. So can you tell us what events BTC has planned for this month?
Yes, on March 29th, we will be at Holy Spirit Anglican Church. That is on Howard Street off of St. Albans Drive. It's gonna be so fun. We're gonna have games, food for the kids and adults, of course. If you have any issues with your service, if you wanna sign up for a new service, we're gonna be out there. This is just something for us to show you our love and loyalty. We're not expecting much from you or anything at all, but we just wanna show you, hey, we appreciate you. And we'll be at many different communities, so just keep an eye out for us.
Awesome. And how does BTC plan to engage with its customers and the community through this event, and what can attendees expect?
Our CEO is there. I'm talking about leads, technicians, people that deal with your cell phone. If you have any issues, anything you can think of, we have it there just for you. Any question that you have, it can be answered. You know, a lot of people, they complain, oh, when I go into the store, but we'll be right there, ready to serve you.
So you're going to make sure to cover all of the bases so they leave no questions unanswered.
No question unanswered.
Okay, so Chelsea, tell us what customers are looking to take advantage of BTC's Mo Love campaign, monthly offers, a VOLT promotion and events. Where can they go to get more information or to sign up for any of those promotions?
Okay, so you can actually call our sales number 477-SHOP, or you can call 577-SHOP, and you can also get information from our website, www.btcbahamas.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, ladies, for joining us on What's Trending today, and good luck to you in all of your future endeavors.
Thank you.
Well, hear from an inspiring young leader about his bullying platform. There's so much more after the break.
Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, we have been in Exoma now for the past 4 years, carrying out our paving program. A part of our company's philosophy is to do some work to international standards. So when you look at our paving division, we have a state-of-the-art lab to do all of our testing in-house, as well as a state-of-the-art asphalt plant with a trained technician carrying out the work on that site. The overarching goal of our company is to produce the work that we're doing in the entire Bahamas to international standards. We also make a difference by the training of our staff. We have a very intensive training program going on to where we are teaching young men how to learn the art of striping. Being a young man myself, I've made mistakes in the past. I was given a second chance to better my life, and it's only fitting that we pass it along. What's important for us is giving them a second chance for them to get a skill and a career that could take them further in life.
Diet-friendly special.
An inspiring young leader whose platform is making waves in the fight against bullying. As a part of the Mr. and Miss High School Bahamas National Pageant, Daquan Parker is using his voice to raise awareness and stand up for those who may not have the strength to speak out themselves. With bullying affecting countless students across the country, Daquan has chosen to tackle this issue head-on, advocating for kindness, empathy, and positive change in our schools and communities. On Zoom from Abaco, he'll discuss his mission, the impact of bullying, and the steps he believes we can all take to make a difference. Let's dive into his powerful message. Welcome to What's Trending, Daquan.
Thank you for having me.
Now, Daquan, tell us what inspired you to enter the high school Bahamas National Pageant, and what do you hope to gain from this experience?
I would like to show people that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And the experience that I would like to experience is to enhance my modeling techniques and have more opportunities for public speaking.
And what inspired you to choose to stand up to bullying as your platform, and why do you think it's an important cause to advocate for?
Because it's Stand Up, Speak Out Together Against Bullying is an organization with what I created against anti-bullying. Why? Because students in my school get bullied for their differences, like their hair, their race, and their skin color, and many more.
And we know that bullying can take on many forms: physical, verbal, and even cyberbullying. In your opinion, which type is the most dangerous and why?
The type that I think is most dangerous is cyberbullying, because cyberbullying can be shared from platform to platform, like how you can share some from WhatsApp to TikTok, and it can hurt persons inside, like it will give them depression, anxiety, and suicidal thoughts.
And if you could introduce one initiative in your school or community to raise awareness about bullying, what would it be, and how would you ensure its success?
I will put posters and I'll make short videos on our school page. I'll speak to my school against bullying.
And what advice would you give to someone who is being bullied and feels like they have nowhere to turn?
I'll tell them they have many persons to turn to, like me, the guidance counselor, the principal, and many more persons on the campus.
And lastly, if you were to win the title of Mr. High School Bahamas, what would be your first initiative as the title holder?
The first initiative that I will do is I'll create a group on anti-bullying. How I will achieve it? By speaking to my schools. Again, like I said, when you asked me the question before, I'll speak to my school and make short videos and many more things.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Daquan, for joining us on What's Trending. And we wish you success on March 23rd in the final leg of the pageant.
Thank you.
Thank you, too. The Perfume Bar was in studio recently, and they'll help you to find the perfect scent right after the break. You don't want to miss it.
If you would like to be a part of What's Trending, DM us on Instagram at What's Trending on ZNS.
For over half a century, we've been more than just an airline. We've been a bridge, connecting families, dreams, and memories across the islands and beyond. Behind every seat sold and every journey planned, there's a dedicated team committed to making air travel affordable and accessible to everyone. At Bahamas Air, we're not just building connections, we're building a safe and dependable airline where quality service is paramount and an excellent travel experience is our priority. Wherever you're going, we're here to take you there with care, with heart, and with the promise of unforgettable journeys. We are family, and just like family, we're committed to taking care of our own. Your Bahamas Air is our Bahamas Air, because here at Bahamas Air, we don't just fly here, we live here.
Hi, I'm Brent Burrows, Vice President of Retail and Sales at CBS Bahamas and the CBS Pro Store. Not only do we guarantee the best prices on all your favorite building materials, but we're proud to offer the best delivery program in all of Nassau. Whether you buy one box of screws or a truckload of plywood, island-wide delivery is just $5. And for our Family Island customers, we're proud to offer complimentary drop-off to the mailboat of your choice. Visit us today at the CBS Pro Store on Robinson Road and check out our website to set up your next delivery.
Get ready to turn your senses up to full bloom. Welcome to the Sensual Notes, brought to you by the Perfume Bar. Where every spray tells a story and every scent is a symphony. It's time to sniff, swoon, and discover the art of fragrance like never before. In studio, we have Peyton Bodie, Senior Sales Associate from the Perfume Bar Mall and Marathon location. Welcome to What's Trending, Peyton.
Hi, good day.
Now tell us, what's the first fragrance you remember wearing and how does it make you feel today?
The first, you mean coming to the perfume bar?
The first fragrance ever in total, what you enjoyed most about it?
Well, the first fragrance I came upon coming to the perfume bar was Dolce & Gabbana, the light blue intense. It was the male scent that, it was a breeze, because I was like, what is this catching scent that came to my mind? I said, okay, let me, because it's, you know, the blue bottle, the intense. Yes. When I first saw them, I was like, oh, this is a female bottle. Because, you know, the female bottle looked like the male bottle and the male bottle looked like the female. So the first day I came, I was like, let me test it out. As soon as I opened the bottle, fresh, blooming scent. A lady passed our booth one time, and she was like, what's that scent? And I was like, this is our Dolce & Gabbana light blue. So she's like, well, that's a little catching scent for somebody to speak up on my mind. So I was like, okay. So that same day, she tested out on the paper and on her skin to see if she likes it on her, you know, her husband. And I want you to believe.
She bought that scent.
She bought that scent.
Oh, so that sounds like she can be clutching them close.
Yes, ma'am.
So what would you say is the biggest myth about perfume that needs to be debunked?
The myth is really what I would say is it's not really about the toilet and it's not really about the perfume. It's really in comparison between them two, even though people be like, toilet is toilet, and that's just, it wears off. But in some fragrances, I believe that because it's the chemistry, some people chemistry doesn't work with the perfume or the cologne, but sometimes the toilet also stays on the skin also. So the myth between it is you always test
to see what works for your body chemistry. Well,
yes,
that's a good thing to know. So what would you say are some of the common mistakes that people make when they are choosing a fragrance?
Like I said before, a problem that I see is that they would judge just because it's a toilet. You know, most scents comes in a toilet and some come in a perfume. They judge because, okay, it's toilet, I'm not gonna buy it because it doesn't work. But not all scents
apply the same way.
Yes.
So that's the main thing. Just test it out and see how it works with your body chemistry.
Yes, ma'am.
That makes sense. So what advice would you give to someone who is just starting out and is exploring the different types of perfumes? Because there, of course, are so many of them.
My advice I would give, don't always listen to what somebody else would say about the perfume or cologne. Test it out for yourself because it may work on your chemistry and not theirs. And you should always explore different scents because not because I'm wearing it, you should wear it, but explore more scents.
Because there are so many of them.
Yes, ma'am.
So what better way to explore the world of perfumes than at the Perfume Bar? Now, I see, Peyton, you have some fragrances here for us today. Let's start with the Narciso Rodriguez for her. So talk to us a little bit about the notes that will hit me first from this particular perfume.
Looking at the matte bottle of our Narciso Rodriguez for her, it has a matte bottle to signify that to ladies.
So that's clear from the break.
Yes, ma'am, from the break.
It's clear distinction.
From the color, from the feeling of the bottle, all of that in one. That signifies that right there. Also, with the Narciso Rodriguez for the ladies, that's one of our latest ones.
So this is new to the market?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Also, with the scent, it's very soft, it's very musky. You can say also it's a caring scent because it's not too high, not too powerful, but it's just right.
So it sounds like it's a really nice feminine scent to wear. So would you say this scent, you know, like sometimes you go somewhere and you want to know whether or not that perfume scent is going to be one that lingers in the room. When I leave the room, will people still smell the scent on
Yes,
me?
ma'am, they would.
Really?
Yes, ma'am. Would you like me to test it out for you?
Sure, definitely.
No
Right.
You see the way that I sprayed it with this scent?
This is really nice.
Yes, ma'am. With this scent, I must say, it's very soft. It isn't too much.
It feels like a girly perfume. Like you're really in a nice flowy dress,
Yes,
whether it's long or short. You feel like a woman in this scent.
Most
This
ladies,
is really nice.
they would also wear that in like, because it's a floral scent, even though it has a musk, they would normally wear that in the summertime.
So that sounds like the way to go.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, that's a good hint. So now we also have the Narciso Rodriguez for him as well. So talk to us about some of the notes that are in the male version of this fragrance.
Well, for him, Narciso, this is one of our latest also. It has a fresh scent and fresh minty scent. It also has a little touch of a wood into it, but not too much. But also it's an eye catcher.
It sounds like an interesting combination from the mint to the wood.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm anxious to smell it to see how they bring that combination together.
Yes, ma'am. Now, Narciso from the bottle, as you can see, it's a clear bottle. Very teal, very matte at the top for its cover. And also with the scent, for somebody who's just starting off, like they're not used to
heavy or strong
scents, I would recommend this to be as their first one.
This is really nice.
Yes, ma'am.
And this is one, too. You probably got to hold your fella close, eh?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, wow.
Yes, ma'am.
The mint combination is also very, very
not too
nice.
strong.
It's not overpowering because, you know, you don't want that to be too overpowering because, you know, some people have sinus issues and other things going on. So what, in your opinion, what makes a fragrance timeless? Because, you know, like there are some like Chanel and other ones that you just know this is something I want to have. What would you say makes a perfume timeless?
Well, the ingredients in them, like for me, for instance, for example, I'm a vanilla person. I love my vanilla, I love my Arabics, I love, you know, all of the good scents. For me, I would go, once you know what you like in your scent,
then you can't go wrong from there.
Can't go no wrong with it. Like Dolce & Gabbana. Dolce & Gabbana has different scents. They have a minty scent. They have a floral scent. They have different scents, like the new Dolce & Gabbana King Intense, the Queen Intense, different stuff. Depends on how you like your scent, of course.
That's the way to go.
Yeah.
So what's one fragrance trend that you are excited about right now? You like where it's going?
I like where it's going. The Scandal, I would say the Scandal and the Dolce & Gabbana, the one.
Okay, they sound good. So Peyton, remind us of your locations and the times of operation so people could know where they need to come to find these outstanding scents.
Well, to find these lovely scents for him and her, you will find me and my co-workers at the Mall of Marathon. Our working hours are 10 to 6 and 11:30 to 7:30.
And that's through the week?
It's through the week.
Awesome.
Just closed on Sundays.
Okay. Well,
from Monday to Saturday.
That sounds good. Well, you know, every time the Perfume Bar comes in studio, they wow us with their vast array of fragrances. Thank you so much, Peyton, for coming on and sharing your knowledge with us today.
You too.
Well, there's more after the break. You're watching What's Trending.
Here at Immigration Care Service, you can trust us, especially if you have experienced issues or problems with the U.S. immigration at the borders. We'll do our best to provide options and solutions to immigration roadblocks so travelers can continue visiting the U.S. and residents can continue living their lives in the U.S. without worries. The best part? Our services are affordable and accessible. Take the mystery, confusion, and fear out of your immigration concerns. Contact Immigration Care Service today.
Diet-friendly special.
On Wednesday's show, hear more from the Minister of Agriculture about his ministry's Golden Yoke program. Well, that's all the time we have for today. A huge thank you to our incredible guests for sharing their insights and stories with us. As always, we'll be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. with more exciting guests, thought-provoking conversations, and a whole lot of laughs only on the ZNS network. See you later.
At the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, I'm Clint Watson, and this is ZNS.
This is the Bahamas Tonight. The Northern Edition has a look at stories making news tonight. The Battle of the Blaze continues for one community in Grand Bahama. PLP chairman shares why he is confident the PLP will return as government during the next election. And more clarity into the policy that governs the police housing.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thanks so much for tuning in. Topping the news tonight, a brush fire is currently raging on East Midshipman Road in Grand Bahama, with firefighters and emergency teams battling the blaze that threatens homes and properties. The thick smoke is forcing many residents to temporarily relocate. Tonight, Press Liaison Officer Stephen Roll provides the latest update on the ongoing fight. Thick billows of smoke filled the air on Monday, blanketing portions of Midshipman Road and East Sunrise Highway, reducing visibility to near zero and creating hazardous conditions for residents and motorists alike. As ZNS News team navigated the area, we witnessed concerned residents armed with garden hoses, desperately trying to protect their properties from the encroaching flames. Others stood helplessly by, anxiously hoping the fire wouldn't reach their homes. Firefighters battled tirelessly for over 12 hours to contain the massive blaze. The island's fire department, with assistance from various partners, worked relentlessly to bring the situation under control. 24 hours later, Police Press Liaison Officer Superintendent Stephen Roll providing an update on firefighting efforts and ongoing containment measures.
The fire department is still out and about fighting this fire along with its partners in the Midshipman and Chesapeake area. The fire's still burning very lightly. However, the smoke is still intense. We're still urging the public, if you don't need to go to that area, please refrain or use a detour route to get around. Please adhere to the speed limit. On areas that are not visible, please use your headlights to be able to see exactly the way through that smoke.
While brush fires are not uncommon in Grand Bahama, residents say this is the worst they've ever seen.
Next year, we don't want this again. We don't want this for no person.
So what is everyone doing at this moment?
Right now, trying to, wreck their houses, wreck their surroundings. That's what we're doing. Praying, of course.
Oh, wait, this is the worst it's been, We had, this is the third time, but this has been the worst,
Superintendent Roll assures the public that fire officials will continue to closely monitor the area to prevent further flare-ups.
And we're asking the residents to please be patient with the officers. They are up and about. They have been assisted by our partners. And we will ensure that we do our endeavor best to avoid any structural damage or even loss of life. So we're asking the public, whoever have any other apparatus that can assist, to please reach out to the fire department. All hands on deck is necessary at this time, and we will work together to get this matter resolved as quick as possible.
Well, that raging inferno Monday left a significant number of Grand Bahama Power Company customers without electricity. A company official gave Cleopatra Murphy an update on those efforts.
Small pockets of fire, burnt bushes, and thick clouds of smoke still lingered in the air hours after a massive fire in the Midshipman Road area threatened homes in the surrounding communities Monday, leaving crews from the Grand Bahama Power Company working late into the night.
We would have been out up until 11 p.m. yesterday. We had several outages. We were able to get most of the residents back in. However, there were a number of residents we had to leave out due to the wildfires and them being kind of isolated from the main trunk. So it was pretty intense, and it was late into the wee hours.
Grand Bahama Power Company Director of Customer Operations Jared Moss says teams were out again early Tuesday morning, just after sunrise in the Midshipman and East Sunrise community, addressing isolated power outages and replacing damaged infrastructure while monitoring lingering conditions. With a number of brush fires in recent weeks, Moss says the company has been executing safety measures.
For us, prevention is always number one, so we are doing some veg management as well as inspections. Then, in those instances where we're unable to kind of mitigate those risks, but we try to obviously respond as quickly as possible to prevent any further damages, to obviously from a customer standpoint and from an infrastructural standpoint.
With the blaze now contained, concern is now on the dangers posed by the downed poles and power lines, so Moss is urging caution.
Please be vigilant and exercise caution. And in the event that you do come across any kind of down lines or poles that are potentially on fire, please give us a call on 351-8411. And at that point, please exercise extreme caution, avoid those obstacles until our teams are there to make those repairs.
It's too early to say just how much replacing damaged infrastructure will cost the company, but Moss says assessments will be conducted. In the meantime, individuals who encounter downed lines or other related dangers are urged to call 352-8411. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
In other news, the chairman of the Progressive Liberal Party, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, was a guest on Clint Watson's The Rundown on Monday evening. Several hot-button issues addressed, including the state of Grand Bahama and the 2026 election season. Jolanda Thompson-Everest gives us an overview.
Grand Bahama was the focus of the rundown with Clint Watson as PLP chairman weighed in on the state of the island, from the sale of the Grand Lucayan Resort, the Grand Bahama International Airport, and the upcoming general election. Mitchell defended why he believes the PLP will return to office.
My argument is the consistency, standing up for the Bahamian community there. I think West Grand Bahama is an example of the way that investments play out to the benefit of people, and we certainly will be defending Ginger Moxie's seat with all the moxie that we've got, and we're going to target the leader of the opposition seat to make sure that he's uncomfortable as possible during the campaign coming up. So if he keeps his job, it'll only be by the grace of God.
Allegations of corruption within the party was also addressed, but Mitchell contends that the sources is none other than the opposition party, the Free National Movement.
They trot it out, but it doesn't work because they lost the election after trotting that out in 2021. They're trying to find scandal again where there is no scandal. and they try always to employ the language of American reports about what is supposedly going on in the Bahamas. As far as we know, these cases have nothing to do with institutional corruption.
Mitchell went on to discuss the government's agenda to address the cost of living. He explained that policies imposing high cost on U.S. goods contribute to inflation as the Bahamas imports much of its goods from the U.S.
People ought to know that the inflation we have is not inflation by our own making. It's inflation which is derived from another source. And so the Bahamas government is doing what it can to manage that. You'll soon hear the extent of alternative markets and trying to find cheaper goods. But remember that our main trading partner is engaged in a trade war itself with others.
But here's the million-dollar question. Could there be an early election looming?
Mandate runs out the 10th of October 2026. There's no reason, I can tell, to have any general election. There's no crisis. There's nothing which suggests otherwise. So you serve out your term.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson, Everest.
Switching gears now, the policy governing the Royal Bahamas Police Force housing accommodations, dated and signed by then Commissioner of Police Anthony Ferguson on November 6, 2018, clearly outlined the length of stay for officers, conditions for occupancy, and rules for transfer. In this report, the director of the Police Staff Association provides further insight into the policy and its implications for officers residing in the police housing subdivisions. An issue has emerged regarding Royal Bahamas Police Force officers residing in police housing subdivisions on Grand Bahama. Recently, officers were issued notices to transition to private accommodations, sparking concern among some members of the opposition. The Minister of National Security, in a press statement, clarified that several officers had violated policy agreements concerning the length of stay, among other infractions. The Director of Police Staff Association, Corporal Ariba Saunders, outlining the specific policy on the allotted stay for officers in the housing program.
Policy states that we have 5 years before we become domicile. In force terms, domicile means that you have been working and residing on an island for more than 5 years.
According to Saunders, the officers in question have now reached the maximum period allowed under the policy.
Who isn't exactly on year 5 has been there past 5 years.
Officials maintain that officers were given ample notice and multiple options in accordance with the guidelines. Saunders further explained what happens once an officer exceeds the designated time frame.
They either get transferred or they become responsible for their own living. If they read the policy, then they are aware of it. But when they house you, they inform you of these things as well.
When asked if there should be outrage over the eviction notices, Saunders reiterated the importance of adhering to established policy.
According to policy, what administration is doing is not wrong. We govern by the policy.
In news from the crime beat, police on Bimini are searching for Nelson Denza Mitchell Jr. in connection with stealing by reason of service. The 38-year-old is a resident of Alistown, Bimini, stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, heavy built, weighs 370 pounds, brown eyes and dark brown complexion. If you spot him, please dial police at 911, the National Crime Prevention Office at 302-8430, or Crime Stoppers at 352-1919 or 350-3106 or 9. Residents in the Family Islands can dial 242-300-8476.
And still to come.
The Salvation Army celebrating 40 years of service and dedication to the people of Grand Bahama. That story, sports, and more when the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, returns.
Imagine a world where every brand knows your name and every store awaits your arrival. Elite shopping, travel where luxury is a lifestyle and every journey feels like home. Dine where every flavor is just for you, every table reserved, and every moment a taste of perfection. Make every big moment even bigger. Experience banking where wealth isn't just managed, it's maximized. Step into a world without limits. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Come on down and see what Dolly Madison has in store for you. Renovate and rejuvenate at Dolly Madison.
Dolly Madison.
Celebration Key presents the Lifeguard Swim Test in Freeport. Join the action at the YMCA on March 27th at 9 a.m. Walk-in registrations are welcome. Scan the code to register today and take the first step toward becoming a lifeguard. The Night Before, a gripping stage production by S.L. Shepard, live at the Regency Theater, March 27th to the 29th at 8 p.m. with a special matinee on March 30th at 5 p.m. Tickets are $30, available at Imagine Graphics, the 17th shop at Gregory's Fine Foods.
It's the second annual Turks and Caicos Come Go With Me Musical and Jazz Festival, June 5th through 9th. Book your hotel now at Ports of Call Resort, Turks and Caicos. Daily breakfast included. Short distance from the event. Email now. Reservations at portsofcallresort.com using discount code CONCERT15.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Welcome back. The Salvation Army celebrating 40 years of service and dedication to the people of Grand Bahama. A special anniversary service was held at the Freeport Bible Church, where the divisional commander of the Bahamas Turks and Caicos Division, Major Rudolph Mio, was the keynote speaker. Also in attendance was the Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, along with family and friends who applaud Major Henrik and Eugene Sumter for their restoration efforts on Grand Bahama.
For 4 decades, the Salvation Army has been a beacon of hope, providing clothing, shelter, restoration, and most importantly, love to the people of Grand Bahama. The organization's humanitarian efforts stand as a testament to Major Henrik and Eugenia Sumter, who were deployed here in 2019. Fast forward to tonight, and the organization is celebrating 40 years with a special ceremony at Freeport Bible Church. It was an emotional service as many supporters and patrons gathered front row to share fond memories and express appreciation for the work the Salvation Army has done, while the Sumters, who have been managing the Grand Bahama Center, will be leaving and deploying to another island. A few residents took tonight's service as an opportunity to thank them for a job well done. Leading with remarks was the Minister for Grand Bahama.
For 4 decades, the Salvation Army has been a steadfast partner, dedicated to service and meeting the basic needs of residents throughout Grand Bahama Island.
President of the Christian Council, Reverend Kenneth Lewis, and Advisory Board member DeCarlo Sweeting joined in to thank the Majors for their sacrifices.
We salute you, Brother Hendrik and Sister Eugenia, for being motivated by love. You continue to give hope to our people through the power of the gospel.
Your tireless efforts in providing food, shelter, clothing, and hope to countless individuals and families have made an immeasurable impact on the lives of many.
Divisional Commander of the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos, Major Rudolph Mayer, was the keynote speaker who spoke about the Salvation Army being a unique organization.
The uniform we wear is a witness of our saving grace in Christ Jesus to the general public. Our message is calling others to holiness of God.
Though their new location has not been announced, these two patrons speak about how greatly the Sumters will be missed.
As you know, every term, whether it's 3 or 4 years, they are deployed into different territories, and their time and their tenures comes to an end now here in Freeport, Grand Bahama.
I think through the pandemic, they were there, Hurricane Dorian. There's just a lot of the residents with grocery packages. They assist them in their light vultures, and with them leaving, I hope it don't put a void.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson, Everest.
Thanks, Yolanda. In other news, spreading the gospel in schools is the main goal of Grand Bahama International Missions, a group of Christ seekers from the U.S. who bring around 250 people to the island every year to spread the gospel. This time around, they headed down west to the Bartlett Hill Primary School to share their love for God.
We've done light construction, we do Vacation Bible School, Backyard Bible Club, just basically coming to partner along with the schools and the churches in the Bahamas and show the love of Christ to the Bahamian people. They're just coming into getting to know the children better here. This is a new team with us, and they want to come with the children and just show the love of Christ to them. To develop a relationship and just get to know the kids that are here.
Our goal today is just to let them know that God created them intentionally
with a purpose and that he loves them and wants to have a relationship with them.
The senior mistress for the primary school says that both staff and students are excited to partake in this initiative, adding that it has always been great when people spread the gospel to the school-age kids.
We always welcome them here, and the children are always excited about it. It is so refreshing when we can have persons that would come over and speak about the Lord Jesus Christ, and they're always excited. And you know, the Bahamas is known for that, and we definitely appreciate what they're doing in the community.
Well, switching gears now, the Neighborhood Watch Council is welcoming new members into the fold to continue serving our communities, making them a better place. The graduating class of 33 members will be working closely with the Royal Bahamas Police Force officers throughout the island of Grand Bahama to not only be aware of crime, but to assist in the fight to prevent it. Sentiments repeated by the National Coordinator, Dr. Indira Adderley.
We are partners in the safety of this country. And as neighborhood watch persons, you are the eyes and ears that will communicate with us. You're going to help Assistant Commissioner Dames and his team. You're going to give him the support that he needs, insights that he may not have, intelligence that can help him. And we welcome that. And we want to continue to foster that. So this evening, we welcome you here to this graduation, and we want you to take everything that you learned and impart it with your neighbors who couldn't make it, and to make your community a better place to live.
In attendance, the Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, extending congratulating words to the graduates, noting it takes a collective effort to ensure safer communities.
We often hear the phrase, it takes a village. Tonight, the village is represented by all of us, and Grand Bahama will be a better place to work, live, and vacation because of your efforts in forging stronger bonds. We all know that the safety of our community is not just the responsibility of law enforcement, but rather it is a shared responsibility that requires all of us to be informed, engaged, and proactive. Neighborhood watch groups are a bit more than just keeping an eye out for the suspicious activity. It encompasses fostering and building relationships and trust.
Well, one of the schools with a leading performance during the Junior Jalcanoe Parade was Sister Mary Patricia Russell Panthers, who put on a show-stopping performance for all in attendance. The school took spectators on a journey with a blast from the past, celebrating the 70s, 80s, and 90s. The school captured the win in the junior high category with an overall score of 504 points, securing victories in Best Banner, Best Dance, and Best Execution of Theme. Jack Haywood Jr. places second with an overall score of 461 points, with the theme taking us back to the island. And finally, in news tonight, at just a few months old, in his mother's womb, Giovanni Hepburn encountered a health crisis that delayed the development of his left hand. Despite this challenge, Giovanni is now 18 years old and works as a production assistant at ZNS Northern Service, making remarkable progress despite what some may deem as a disability. Tonight, he views his journey as an inspiring one and wants others to know that people with disabilities can still make a significant impact in the world.
At just 18, Giovanni is already making waves at ZNS Northern Service, his talent speaking volumes as he builds a name for himself. But his journey hasn't been without its knots, literally. Even before birth, life threw him a twist as his umbilical cord wrapped around his hands, stunting the growth of one. Yet while one hand did not reach full term, his ambition has never fallen short.
I was laying on my side on the arm. So at that time, because they didn't have the machine to detect it, they couldn't catch it in time, but I was laying on my arm, and they couldn't see that the cord was wrapped around my arm.
Giovanni says growing up, he has always been a charismatic person with a great sense of humor. But despite clothed with a positive spirit and attitude, some people saw his condition and was somehow feared for their life.
A lot of people ask me, what happened to your arm? A lot of grown-ups. I would just tell them the situation with me, but I've had a lot of younger kids who's younger than me, who's with their parents, kind of afraid.
Giovanni says that those who may undermine his capabilities have only pushed him to show them how bigger God is in his life. With the strength of his determination by using his right arm the most, he achieved the title of deputy head boy at his high school. After graduation, he secured a job at ZNS Northern Service, where he continues to hone his skills at the corporation. He has been achieving his goals as an audio engineer through his company, GH Productions, where he continues to show the public what he is capable of.
I would just tell them the situation with me, but I've had a lot of younger kids who's younger than me, who's with their parents, kind of afraid to see me because of my arm.
Besides the father above, he credits his mother as his biggest source of strength.
My mother, she has never treated me like I have any disability, but she's always treated me equal and fair. She's always treated me like I have both arms, which I do have both arms.
I spoke with a few of Giovanni's co-workers at ZNS Northern Service who shared their thoughts on his growth and perseverance within the company.
Seeing him edit, you wouldn't think that he only has one arm. The things he does, the vision he has, it's one of a kind.
He's one of the more charismatic characters we offer around at ZNS.
About 2 years ago, as an intern at ZNS, and immediately I gravitated towards him just because he was always polite and mannerly, spoke well, and seemed like he was happy to be a part of the ZNS family.
I don't think his disability is a distraction to him because he's eager to do what everybody does.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson, Everest.
And if you don't do your work, Gio would be the first one to write you up, right? And that's a look at stories making news. Jay, what's happening in
And
sports?
I'm so happy for Gio. What an amazing story. We need to get him with a basketball court. That's what we
I think so.
Coming up in sports, under 17 basketball championship at St. George's Gymnasium.
That's coming your way next, but first a check on the local weather forecast.
Tonight's weather forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Cause it's so beautiful.
See news in the making? Call us at 352-9713 or 359-5167, or you can email us at zns3news@gmail.com.
Calling all local musicians. Celebration Key is holding auditions on March 27th. Showcase your talent and bring the rhythm of the Bahamas to the world. Register today and be part of the magic.
You guys, Mommy has to get a few spins in, okay?
But Mommy, I'm hungry.
Just 5 spins, you guys. Just 5 spins, okay, guys? Just need 5 spins.
We better do our homework. It's gonna be a while.
Problem gaming affects more than just the gamer. This message has been brought to you by the Gaming Board for the Bahamas, which encourages you to game responsibly.
Good evening, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to Sports Talk in Sports, the Grand Bahama Secondary School Athletic Association Under 17 Boys Basketball Championship Series underway yesterday between the Tabernacle Falcons and the Sunland Stingers. The Falcons got off to a fast start in the first half and never looked back, taking this one 39-31, led by sharpshooter Travis T.K. Kelly.
The Honorable Mario Boleg, Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, will put on the best of the best. He'll partner with the Grand Bahama Primary School Association and the Grand Bahama Secondary School Association, the Government Secondary School Athletic Association of New Providence, on March 26th through the 29th at the St. George's Gymnasium and the 8 Mile Rock High School Gymnasium. So we'll take some of the games in 8 Mile Rock. The best of the best will take place. It's a great time because it will give us an opportunity to invite some college coaches in, some high school coaches in, invite them in, see what they want to, see if some of these kids can get off the island, become the next Buddy Hale, DeAndre Ayton, Kai Jones, VJ Edgecombe. That's what it's got to be about, giving the young Bahamians that opportunity. That's what the minister's vision is, making opportunities for young people in the Bahamas.
Sticking with hoops on the college side, the NCAA Men's and Women's March Madness Tournament will take center stage this week all across the U.S. Freshman phenom VJ Edgecombe and his Baylor Bears, seeded 9th in the East Regional, will take on Mississippi State on Friday, March 21st at 9:15 a.m. And Coach Joanna Ole Miss Lady Rebels, with the 5th seed in the Spokane Regional, will face 12th-seeded Ball State also on Friday, March 21st. That game is scheduled to start at 6 p.m. And finally, in sports scores from Week 6 of Little League Baseball and 8U action, the Red Sox dominated the Lions 13-3. In 12U play, the Tigers shut FES Royals 9-0, and the Yankees got the win 9-2 over the Dodgers in 16U play. And again, congratulations to the Tabernacle Falcons under-17 boys winning the championship this afternoon. They are this year's champion. Ladies and gents, that's your quick check on sports. Your Facebook friend of the day is next. I'm Jay Philippe. As always, be blessed.
It's the second annual Turks and Caicos. Come go with me. Musical and Jazz Festival, June 5th through 9th. Book your airline tickets now with BritishAirways.com, BahamasAir.com, or InterCaribbean.com.
Do you want to find relief from common health concerns such as headaches, back pain, chronic inflammation, and more? How about improved sleep, boost energy, and improve overall well-being? Check out RA Balance Bahamas and get your body into balance with biomagnetic therapy. For all our social links, contacts, or to request an appointment, visit rabalancebahamas.com.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And that concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Here's a live look at the Bahamas Tonight coming your way next.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, an assurance from America's top diplomat here amid daunting claims of Cuban labor exploitation. Hear why the U.S. Charge d'Affaires believes there's no need to fear. Also, a win is a win. After more than a year of fighting, a clear way forward for the Valley Boys. Find out what's next. And watch the road when creativity, culture, and change collide for a purpose. Tune in for the details of a new road safety initiative that seeks to turn tragedy into triumph. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. America's top official in the Bahamas is tonight chiming in on the multi-nation uproar triggered by a threat from the United States to allegedly ban foreign officials involved in human trafficking and other human and labor rights violations. The issue, putting the Cuban medical mission program in this country under the microscope. Here's Corvell Pfeiffer.
We are neighbors, friends, the closest of counterparts. Our relationship continues.
U.S. Charge d'Affaires Kimberly furnished Tuesday on the impact this Cuban medical program fiasco is having on relations between the Bahamas and the United States, asserting none.
Had this discussion with, top leadership here, with the Prime Minister, the Deputy Prime Minister. We've talked about it at length. We're not targeting any individual Minister of State here. There's no concerns there. It's just simply a discussion. We're talking about how these Cuban medicals are treated, how medical professionals are treated, how they're paid. We want to make sure that their human rights are being met, right? And this is really more about the Cuban government and not the Bahamian government.
Prime Minister Philip Davis addressing the issue as well Monday, advising that the government was aware that a portion of salaries paid to Cuban medical professionals is sent to an agency in Cuba. However, Mr. Davis was unsure whether that portion eventually ends up with the Cuban government. The Trump administration is threatening to cancel the visas of all foreign government officials and their immediate family, who the U.S. deems complicit in the Cuban labor export program. The U.S. charges that the program aids in human rights violations, specifically human trafficking. But Prime Minister Davis has countered that the Bahamas nor its Caribbean counterparts would ever knowingly permit human trafficking. It's a position the top U.S. diplomat seems to back.
Bahamas is not targeted by this. This went to every embassy in the world. The Cuban medical program is something that we're concerned about. There have been some human rights issues within that program. We're not aware of any that are happening in the Bahamas. It's simply the beginning of the opening of a discussion.
Meanwhile, Mr. Davis says the government has begun reviewing its agreements with Cuba to ensure compliance with international human rights standards. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corvell Pyfrom.
While the Bahamas government has been credited with establishing effective anti-corruption laws, the U.S. State Department has found that laws to combat corruption by public officials have been inconsistently applied. Its most recent International Narcotics Control Strategy report further notes that the government has stalled full implementation of anti-corruption legislation that would accelerate efforts to enhance transparency and accountability. It reasons then that the Bahamas would benefit from a more robust enforcement of rules, and this to prevent conflicts of interest regarding public procurement activities. The report cites allegations that government contracts have been directed to political supporters, isolated reports of officials accepting so-called small-scale bribes of convenience, and favorable treatment given to wealthy or politically connected individuals. Foreign Affairs Minister, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, spoke to the whole issue of claims of the Davis administration being corrupt when he appeared as a guest on the ZNS show, The Rundown.
What you know is that every time there's an allegation of corruption against the Progressive Liberal Party, it's thoroughly investigated and dealt with one way or the other. And so there's nothing that says that the Progressive Liberal Party, or that can prove that the Progressive Liberal Party is a corrupt organization. In fact, it is the nation-building organization. It is the political party that builds the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Well, a country at war, its people at peril. Years after the assassination of its president, Jovenel Moïse, Haiti continues to be overrun by gangs, reportedly displacing over 1 million people. And this despite the intervention of a Kenyan-led security force strongly backed by the Bahamas. Defense Force officers are counted among the troops there. Still, Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, acknowledges that the situation on the ground in Haiti remains a challenge.
Kenyan police officers are doing their best to bring peace and stability into it, and we are supporting them in that effort. And there's been no new news coming out of there other than the fight continues.
Fritz Jean was recently appointed the new head of Haiti's Transitional Presidential Council, and this as the island sets its eye on long-awaited elections later this year. And speaking of elections, as political parties dust off their machinery in preparation for the 2026 poll day, officials of the governing Progressive Liberal Party have been busy preparing troops to secure a second victory. Altaviz Munnings tells us what the PLP's national chairman says this entails.
The Progressive Liberal Party's national chairman's political formula is clear.
It's very easy to be in government and forget the fundamentals, which is that you need to be in contact with people, because this is a people business. We have small constituencies, so there's no reason why you can't be in touch with electors at least once during the term.
And according to the Honorable Frederick Mitchell, every member of the PLP's parliamentary team has been given a marching order to go into their respective constituency and hold a branch meeting. The goal is to ensure the governing party's message spreads nationwide. Now, when it comes to the PLP's 2026 candidate list,
we don't have candidates as such. We have members of parliament who sit in seats All of them, as far as I'm aware, have been given their marching orders to keep the troops together, and all of them are doing that insofar as I can tell.
The PLP national chairman strongly believes in continuity. This explains why he's capitalizing on the government's accomplishments this term in hopes of securing a second.
If we have consistently the 2 terms, I think the country will appreciate the stability, the consistency, the peace, the less violence that will ensue as a result of consistent policies. And that's really why we're arguing for the second term, not for aggrandizement, but for the best interest of the country. And where people feel that there's a default, please know that you have members of parliament and senators who are accessible to you, and please make sure you access them. And if there's a default, we've got a party central office. Get in touch with us, and we will try and rectify whatever those situations are.
When asked if the Progressive Liberal Party is eyeing an early election, Chairman Mitchell candidly said no, adding that the scheduled date for the next general elections is October 2026. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Altavice Munnings.
Well, in other news this evening, a breakthrough in the Valley Boys' continued standoff as the Trevor Davis-led faction secures a victory. Lloyd Allen has all the details in this next report.
After more than a year of wrangling in court and out of court, the Valley Boys apparently finding a way forward following a ruling in court. Helping to divulge exactly what that means is Deputy Chair Jeff Monker. Jeff, tell us what happened.
Okay, as you know, we've been at this for more than a year now. The court this morning gave a ruling that said that we were the owners of the Valley Boys name. What that means for us is the group now can move ahead after this upcoming season. It's been really, really rough over the past year. Of course, this affected sponsorship and everything else. The group, you know, I must say, I must really give kudos to all the group members. They held strong through all this.
Now, coming out of that press conference that your group just had, again, we know that you have elections coming up on the 29th. You also intend to make application to the JCNP for registration before April 1st. Tell us why that's so important.
Well, firstly, we promised when we started on this journey that we would have fair and free elections. We ratified our constitution, I think, about a month ago. Come March 29th, all positions are open for free and fair elections. So coming out of that, we should have a new executive team and be ready to take on Bay Street. As it relates to the JCNP, as you know, last year there was a lot of back and forth with the JCNP. We anticipate that this year things will go smoothly. Our plans is to do whatever it takes to get to be able to compete as an A category group on Bay Street come Boxing Day and New Year's.
And finally, of course, we know that your group represents over 800 members. Again, to those on the other side, the other faction, if there's one thing that you can say to them, what would that be?
Well, this is one Valley Boys. Our goal throughout the whole year was unity. We've attempted on a number of occasions to bring the group together. Now I think this is a perfect opportunity to invite all on board. So let's come back together and participate as the Valley Boys.
Again, it's all about unity. Reporting here from Breezes Hotel for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
Well, great job there, Lloyd. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more news in a moment.
Imagine a world where every brand knows your name and every store awaits your arrival. Elite shopping, travel where luxury is a lifestyle and every journey feels like home. Dine where every flavor is just for you, every table reserved, and every moment a taste of perfection. Make every big moment even bigger. Experience banking where wealth isn't just managed, it's maximized. Step into a world without limits. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
This one? No. Hey, look, KFC has an incredible promo.
I already had that for lunch.
Oh.
Quench your hunger cravings and satisfy the whole family with KFC bucket meals starting at just $20. Get freshly prepared golden fried chicken, buttery biscuits, and add your favorite large sides. Bucket meals starting at just $20. KFC, finger licking good.
Whether you're crossing borders or navigating busy airports, with BTC's reliable data roaming, you're always in touch. In a fast-paced world, staying connected is key. Don't miss important moments. Stay connected effortlessly with BTC wherever your journey takes you.
Did you know the National Insurance Act provides for an insured pregnant woman to access her maternity benefit before or after delivering her baby? Expecting mothers are entitled to 13 weeks of maternity leave, which can be applied for by completing the Med-2 claim for maternity benefit form. Section A is completed by a registered physician or certified midwife. The medical practitioner certifies the expected or actual confinement period, signs the form, and affixes their official stamp. Forms completed by medical practitioners outside of the Bahamas must be accompanied by the physician's business card. In sections B and C, the claimant provides personal and employment details, declares their last day at work, signs and dates the form. The Med-2 form is always accompanied by Form Med-4 or Employer Certificate, which is completed by the employer. Both the Med-2 and accompanying Med-4 forms must be submitted within 3 months from the first day of confinement. Forms submitted outside of this period are considered late and will be subject to review by the Late Claims Committee. Before submitting forms, check that all fields are accurately completed. Incomplete forms or forms with incorrect information will delay the processing of your benefit application. For more information, visit the NIB website at nib-bahamas.com.
Portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, where safety is first.
You're looking at a shot of Nassau Harbor with, of course, a few boats in the distance. Welcome back. The Minister of State for Housing and Urban Renewal adopting a pretty unconventional approach when she addressed the United Nations Commission on the Status of Women, in the process sparking the attention of countries around the world. Felicity Darville tells us all about it in her final report from CSW 69 in New York.
The Bahamas once again emerged as a leader on an international platform when Minister the Honorable Lisa Ramming wowed attendees with her take on the advancements needed for women and girls. They were amazed to learn that within days, our country will launch the Rent-to-Own program.
It is the persons who think that they don't matter to us, that they really do matter, and that this government, the Davis administration, is looking out for them. Persons who cannot easily qualify with the traditional banks, they have the opportunity to have their own home by renting towards owning that home. And so they're so excited. So all of the red tape, all of the huge qualifications that a traditional bank would require of you, that's not expected of them. So we say, come one, come all.
While those attending this UN conference were intrigued by this government housing concept, she struck a deep chord when she called on the UN not to forget the women in prison.
What about the women in prison? Incarcerated women. Do you remember them? Do we include them in the definition of women? Do these women really matter? Have they lost their right to be treated fairly while incarcerated? These women need economic opportunities after leaving prison. Are they worth being fit into the present and future role and attention of the CSW? Let me say, it should not be left to defense attorneys to fight for them. It should not be left for activist groups or human rights groups to just fight for them. They need you, CSW.
Minister Ramming shared how she catered to the women at the Bahamas Department of Corrections on International Women's Day, a touching moment where she learned how they felt forgotten and they're seeking to be able to work on parole like their male counterparts. Women from around the world came to meet her, and they've committed to looking at the women in prison in their own countries. But there are serious threats that must be overcome for meaningful progress, and the Bahamas is no exception. One of the biggest threats to all of the work that is being done for women and girls here at the UN is gun violence. From the UN headquarters in New York City for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Felicity Davil.
Well, the Bahamas Trade Commission given a mandate to lower the cost of living for Bahamians, but the high inflation rate isn't helping the situation. Since the Bahamas has made the top 20 list of highest cost countries in the world for the past 20 years, Bahamas Trade Commission Chairman, Senator the Honorable Barry Griffin, has embarked on a national trade diversification program to enable Bahamian entrepreneurs to solicit products from other global markets.
We're working with a Bahamian company that's bringing products from Africa. Wow. We're working with companies that are bringing products from the Caribbean. So we're looking into Jamaica, Trinidad for snack food products, for sauces and seasonings that Bahamians love and are used to, all as an alternative to the U.S. market. As Minister Mitchell would have said, the U.S. is our strongest and most dominant trading partner, and that's not going to change anytime soon. However, to ease the burden of the cost of living on Bahamians and also to protect our supply chain and national security, it's important to diversify so that when there are fluctuations and disruptions in the market, we already have great relationships with other sources where we can get products.
The Trade Commission's also engaged the services of Bahamian-owned supply chain specialist Russell & Russell. Its CEO, Liliano Russell, explains a procurement app that will help businesses shop globally.
With our experience purchasing in alternative markets outside of America, there's a communication barrier, right? That's one challenge. Of course. A lot of Bahamians are receptive to purchasing outside of America into different regions, right? But the question is, okay, if I go to Brazil or if I go to Colombia or Costa Rica, the prices are good. But the next question is, how do I get the products out?
Well, passionate chance of change is here, and Ms. Simonet, coming from BAIC workers, frustrated with what they call the inefficient leadership of a trade union they say left them to fend for themselves. Daniel Dean has more on the story.
The workers of the Bahamas Agricultural Industrial Corporation disgruntled and begging for change. And one Mistress Latanya Simonet vows she's the one that will bring it.
What was brought to my attention is it lacked leadership, it lacked vision. It's divided, it segregates its members. Members aren't able to receive benefits. Members aren't able to be a part of their negotiation process. Members aren't able to receive benefits that unions ought to fight for. And they basically don't have a president that stands up for them. They have a president that selects who they stand up for, and that is not what union is about.
These are issues President of the Bahamas Public Sector and Health Professionals Union, Latanya Simonet, aims to rectify if successful against the Bahamas General Workers Union. Tuesday's elections took place at BAIC's Old Trail Road headquarters, where clerical assistant Lanisha Edwards, former GW shop steward, confirmed under the partnership multiple things went haywire without rectification.
It's Latanya Simonet. I prefer her because she is for the people as well. The president that was for BGWU is not for the people. One time ago, I must say she was, okay? But certain things came to effect, and she is not.
During our time at the election venue, there were no General Workers Union representatives present. We were informed, though, that the General Workers Union's industrial agreement with BAIC expired this year, and that left room for Simonet to step right in.
A union that's for the people, and it's for these people. You don't think that union president will be here? You don't think the union president will be rallying for the support of these people? And we're not seeing that. And so what we're seeing is Ms. Sands evidently really know and see that, hey, guess what, my time is up.
The BAIC workers and the Bahamas Public Sector and Health Professionals Union look ahead to a bright future of partnership and change. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Danielle Dean.
Well, the unofficial results of today's union elections or determination poll at the Bahamas Industrial and Agricultural Corporation are in. Bahamas Public Sector and Health Professionals Union won over the General Workers Union 89-29 here in New Providence. And over in the Family Islands, those numbers 30-0. We await the official results that are expected within the next few days. Well, stay with us. There's more to come when the National Report returns.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Folk Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
We're here at the Nassau Village Community Center project, where over the past 17 months, we've hired over 20 Bahamian subcontractors to bring this beautiful project to fruition.
I've been living in Nassau Village for more than 19 years, and to see a project like this bring great joy and pride to me.
This state-of-the-art multi-purpose community center will serve as a crime-fighting initiative in the community. Also help with the education of our kids in this community and a hurricane shelter.
Yeah, and it also shows what we as Bahamians can achieve when we work hand in hand with each other.
We have the technical know-how, and we can pretty much deliver on any project here in the Bahamas or in the world.
Bahamas Stripe and the Bahamian Company, they prove that they believe in Bahamians.
Based on the outcome of this project, I don't think they're disappointed in giving a small person an opportunity to do a job such as this.
The more opportunity they get, the more opportunity we will get.
If you look around and see the work done so far, it just shows what we as Bahamians can do.
What is this? Oh, ghost pepper burger. Chicken. I always at Popeyes, so me just come and taste the chicken. Wow. Nice, crunchy. This is off the chisholm.
Wow, that is way better than I expected. Very spicy, extremely spicy actually. The bread is very soft. The chicken is juicy. Yeah, that's spicy food.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station, open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
This portion of the news is brought to you by 700 Wines and Spirits, bringing celebration across the nation.
Well, officials are going after the youth to help drive down this year's traffic fatality numbers, already at 15. Bailey Senior High, the venue for the official National Road Safety Jingle and Mascot launch. Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis taking the lead by encouraging the high schoolers to capitalize on their legacy.
Students of Bailey, this is your moment. You're not just the leaders of tomorrow, you are the influencers of today. When you ride with a friend who's speeding, speak up. When you see someone texting and driving, call it out. Use social media to share the jingle, wear the mascot's image proudly. Be the generation that says, enough. It is enough.
The Prime Minister also launched a road safety corporate influencer network. He's inviting more companies to join in sponsoring school zones, rewarding safe drivers, and using their platforms to amplify the message. In the meantime, he admonished motorists to set an example and slow down, put down the phone, and show the youth that maturity means responsibility. And his message to the Bailey campus?
To every student here, you are the innovators we need. Next month, we launch a National Road Safety Creative Competition for ages 11 to 16. Design posters, write songs, produce short films. Show us how you would make roads safer. The best ideas will shape our national campaign because your voice matters.
Well, we're now going to hear the voices of LaDonna and Marlena for a sneak peek of Access Now. Ladies?
Okay, so do you love art?
I love art.
Well, I want you to check out the National Art Gallery. They have an exhibition in about, I guess, for the remainder of 9 months. Milena, have you been there before?
I have.
Yes.
My mom is a ceramist, so I've been to quite a few exhibitions. You got to go. You know, culture is always evolving. You got to stay up to date with the new people, too.
All right.
So true, so true. Stay with us. Our feature story is up next.
What if I told you Wendy's has a new burger? With a flavor so secret, it's almost too delicious to handle. Well, now it's time to unlock that flavor. Try the new sweet and smoky barbecue cheeseburger. We can't tell you everything, but we can tell you that it's packed with flavor, including our secret barbecue sauce. Try the new sweet and smoky barbecue cheeseburger today. Available for a limited time. Limited time.
Diet-friendly special.
Is the Little Caesars Stuffed Crust Pizza. Get more pizza for less money. Only $12. It's a whole new level of pizza with cheese stuffed crust so spectacular that there's nothing left.
Pizza.
A delicious pepperoni pizza with the crust stuffed with lots of cheese and brushed with butter and garlic flavor and sprinkled with Parmesan cheese. Hot and ready Thursday to Saturday between 4 and 8 for only $12. Simply irresistible. And only at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
For 3 exciting days, the National High School Track and Field Championships will take place at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium, and ZNS TV will bring you all the action. On Thursday, March 20th, tune in from 6 to 6:30 p.m. for the opening ceremony, and then starting at 8 p.m., join ZNS as young athletes from high schools all over the Bahamas go for gold in the finals. The future of Bahamian track and field. The National High School Track and Field Championships live on ZNS TV, March 20th to 22nd. Don't miss it.
And that does it for the National Report, but stay close. The Bahamas Tonight continues with Access Now.
Good to grow. Keeping you in the know. Keeping you in the know. Got that's good enough to eat, and it's good to grow. It's good enough to eat, and it's good to grow.
The Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources recently gave Exuma residents gifts that are set to boost food production: a new tractor, a marine patrol vessel, along with a number of agricultural products. Minister of Agriculture and Marine Resources Jomo Campbell says officials were thrilled to present the donations.
Well, I mean, it's not just a way of life. It is a vital part of our economy and food security. We recognize the challenges that our farmers face, from land preparation to improving crop yields. And so, this new tractor is a direct investment in your success. It will assist with land clearing, plowing, and overall maintenance, making your work more efficient and productive. Our goal is to ensure that agriculture remains a viable and profitable industry for the people of Exuma.
Deputy Prime Minister and Member of Parliament for Exuma Chester Cooper says he was happy to see that children on the island are encouraged to become farmers.
Farming hasn't always been a desirable field to go in. Today, however, we've advanced, and we have advanced significantly. I applaud the Minister and his team for ensuring that we are infusing technology into the advancement of agriculture and making it more desirable for our young people.
During the trip to Exuma, ministry officials also donated agricultural supplies to Allen Coakley High School, along with 20 scholarships to the Bahamas Agriculture and Marine Science Institute. Keeping you in the know with Good to Grow, I'm Kendia Smith.
But now National Art Gallery is all set to host its biannual exhibit. Look out for the beauty of art.
Plus, the Debutante Foundation just held a luncheon for its dainty cohorts. The details are straight ahead.
The constituency of Freetown, we're in for a treat. What's that? A mini tattoo from the police. Can't wait for that.
And coming up in sports, Bahamians are all set to compete in March Madness.
Tonight, Access Now starts now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis.
And I'm Marlena Leonard. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, Access Now.
Can't wait to get to that story on the debutantes, Marlena.
Yes, amazing work by the Debutante Foundation, mentoring and training young girls to be ladies.
Well, some good stuff there, but for now, let's dive right into the news, shall we? Over the next 9 months, the National Art Gallery will be hosting its biannual exhibit. It gives upcoming artists a chance to tell their story of a Bahamian future, whatever they imagine it to be. Lloyd Allen reports.
It's like a theme from a horror flick. Into the Void. It's the newest theme from the National Art Gallery of the Bahamas with its newest exhibition now on display.
Bahamian art is really alive and well.
Unlike 2019's exhibition curated by Holly Bino Young to help creatives process the trauma caused by Hurricane Dorian, Into the Void, according to NAGB Executive Director Millen Ford, is an expression of fresh new artists engulfing the space with their own interpretation of an Arcadian future.
The exhibition is wonderful. I think the curatorial team did a very good job in pulling together a strong show based on the theme Into the Void, which is an exploration of Caribbean futurism.
Curatorial manager Ricciardo Barrett says a new exhibit is introduced every 2 years, and this year it's all about survival.
This show is about thinking about the future, thinking about how we as a people, as Bahamians, as people in the Caribbean, survive. Like, what does survival look like for us into the future?
Patrons were also eased into the new exhibit with a briefing at the gallery's amphitheater, and like magic, immersed into the experience.
We're asking people to experience the void of swimming and water, as the Bahamas is 95% made of water.
The vast majority of the Bahamas is water, and unfortunately most of the population isn't really seeing that, and that's because of a void.
Eleuthera-based artist Edwin Simonet also tantalizing spectators with a depiction of himself. No clothes or filters, just skin.
The exhibition would have been an ideal opportunity to showcase this work. This work has been conceptually in my mind for the past 4 years. I think it was important for me to portray just because it's an image of myself. I've been an artist for the past 15 years, and what I wanted to do was create a level of uncomfortableness, anxiety, all of the things that I personally experience just in social settings like this.
Enthusiasts also describing the exhibit as an expansive space that exists everywhere and nowhere all at once. And it's a location where all Bahamians, even the dogs, want to come and enjoy. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
Awesome work, Lloyd. Well, elegance and grace merged recently as this year's Debutante Foundation cohort came together with their mothers for a luncheon at Holy Spirit Anglican Church on Howard Street. President of the Debutante Foundation, Christina Johnson, says that this event provides attendees with the opportunity to create treasured bonds and celebrate the values of the foundation.
It's important to give young girls and guys a positive arena to go in to share and to be able to bond and learn from each other. Because with the Debutante Foundation, what we try to do is create sisterhood. So it's important to have these groups, especially if they're doing positive stuff. And we've been doing it for 28 years and enjoying every minute of it.
Amanda Burrows, mother of 2 debutantes in this year's cohort, says that she's grateful for this opportunity provided by the foundation as it exhibits positive role models for young women.
It's so important that we cultivate an atmosphere where we can tap into one another. You know, we learn from one another every day. She would teach me, I teach her, likewise. And so I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud of Ms. Johnson and the team for coming together and putting this event and occasion together.
Police Month activities continue with a mini tattoo recently brought to entertain residents in the Kemp Road community. Here's Police Press Liaison Officer Chief Superintendent Sharia King.
We came out to tell and give some of the love that the Royal Bahamas Police Force is passing out. We're coming Camp Road and the residents of Camp Road to collaborate with them and engage them and give them all of and showcase all that the Royal Bahamas Police Force have.
The event showing off lots of cool tricks from speed cops, members of the RBPF, pop band, while inspiring youngsters. The event also hosted in honor of Camp Road's very own Leonard Neely, the honoree for the big event for his work in community building.
You get up every day, you do your best for your community. Basically, as every Bahamian should do, is serve their country, serve their people. And then one day, they decide to honor you. That's amazing.
A rich display of culture, musicianship, and flat-out fun. The 4th edition of the KB Boatman Show set to take Rock Sound Eleuthera April 18th during the island's annual homecoming. What can attendees expect?
A professional setup, a good time, and a lot of people. We're trying to get people to come from every island because it's the Boatman Show. You can expect KB. You can expect Colin McDonald, Mama D, Franchon, and probably Avi, and many more. So we'd like for you to come down to Rock Sound in April 18th and 19th for the Rock Sound Homecoming because the show is going to be massive.
Tickets can be found at Club Space Greencastle, Ronnie's Governor's Harbor, Aqua Lounge Tarpon Bay, EJ's Variety Store Deep Creek, and Beauty Shack Nassau.
Please book your tickets now on Bahamas Air and your hotel room because it's going to be loaded. Thank you very much.
Well, we're going to take a break here, but still to come, the British High Commission is here to talk about how you can be diplomat for a day. Stay close.
Custom Computers and Alive on the business spectrum, we work well together. We want to offer clients the best in technology.
What Custom Computers is offering for the Alive Business Partnership is HP Pro Small Form Factor Desktop. We're including with it the 27-inch conferencing monitor, so you can have that meeting at home or at work in a private area, just like you're sitting next to that person.
For more than 30 years, thousands have attended the annual Bahamas Bridal Show to enjoy a spectacular fashion show, fun and games, food and champagne, and $30,000 in prizes, including honeymoons. On Sunday, March 23rd at Grand Hyatt Baha Mar, come see the reason the Bahamas Bridal Show is the ultimate experience for weddings and special events. Show tickets, $75. Call 421-9783 or visit bahamasevents.net.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
For 3 exciting days, the National High School Track and Field Championships will take place at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium, and ZNS TV will bring you all the action. On Thursday, March 20th, tune in from 6 to 6:30 p.m. for the opening ceremony, and then starting at 8 p.m., join ZNS as young athletes from high schools all over the Bahamas go for gold in the finals. The future of Bahamian track and field. The National High School Track and Field Championships live on ZNS TV, March 20th to 22nd. Don't miss it.
You're looking at a shot of the Andre Rogers Baseball Stadium, brought to you by our drone pilot with a steady hand, Neville Smith. Flying high is his game tonight, but let's check out what's going on in our family islands.
Embarked on an aggressive road improvement project that's expected to impact every island throughout this country. In fact, Works Minister, the Honorable Clay Sweeting, touts it as the most paving done by any government.
You will see shortly that
that we'll put out a tender process for 18 more miles on Long Island upon what we did around Stella Maris. So we did a lot of paving there recently. South Andros has started with paving. We are looking at starting some work in Mangrove Key. Central Andros has had a lot of paving. North Andros. In short order, you'll see areas in Abaco get paved. So you'll see in a few weeks persons on the ground there. We're looking at the possibility of doing Sweeting's Tract in Abaco as well. We're looking at Grand Bahama. We've been paving a lot in Cat Island, along with waterworks there. Of course, Eleuthera. And you'll see some work starting in San Salvador in short order as well. Crooked Island, we're looking at completing that. We got 1 mile of road left to pave in Crooked Island. And we've also done the scopes on on Inagua, and we're going to do some scopes on Mayaguana.
Well, that looks like a lot of good work going on for many islands. Well, tonight we're talking to members of the British High Commission. We're discussing the Diplomat for the Day competition. Our guests are Luksha Wickramarachie, who has been Deputy High Commissioner for 2 months now. She has a keen interest in doing more for our education and working with our country's youth. And Joseph Pitaluga, who for the past 6 months has been in the Foreign Office lead for the Bahamas. Luksha and Joey, welcome to Access Now.
Thank you. Thank you for having
us. So, Diplomat for a Day, could you tell us just an overview of this competition?
Thank you. So, Diplomat for a Day is a campaign that we've run in the UK Foreign Office in multiple countries. And as you mentioned, we're really keen to do more on youth and education here. So we thought we'd launch it in the Bahamas and give an opportunity for a young person to shadow the High Commissioner for a day and to really get to kind of get their teeth into diplomacy and maybe, you know, get so interested that they join the Bahamian Foreign Ministry one day.
That would be awesome. So, Joey, can you tell us what's in it for the winner? What does the winner get to experience?
Sure, yeah. So diplomacy is a highly varied career, and we hope to show successful applicants some of that variation. So they'll get to spend some time with our High Commissioner here in Nassau. They'll get to spend some time with the Deputy and what it's like to be a Deputy High Commissioner in a small post. They'll get involved in some very interesting political discussions, and they'll also be part of the team reporting back to London, which is where I'll come in.
And what do you guys hope to accomplish through this shadowing process?
So fundamentally, it's about strengthening the UK-Bahamas relationship, one that is already so strong. We have a shared history and a common connection in the form of the Commonwealth. So through the Diplomat for the Day programme, what I think we're trying to do is get that relationship to grow and also learn from each other's shared experiences.
Amazing. And so how can people apply?
So the competition is open to 16 to 24-year-olds. You have to be a Bahamian citizen, and you have to send a 60-second video or a short essay, less than 500 words, about your leadership. And there is a lot more detail about that on our social media. So if they go to @UK in the Bahamas in all of our social media channels, they can find out a bit more detail.
And then I'm assuming even if they've never done something like Model United Nations before, this is something that everyone should throw their hat into the ring to try to get this opportunity?
Absolutely. The idea is to really get a flavor of what diplomacy looks like, what working in a foreign mission in the Bahamas feels like. So no prior experience necessary, but of course we'd love to hear about, you know, anything that they've done previously.
Awesome. Well, there you have it. Well, Luksha and Joey, thank you so much for joining us, and all the best with this competition. And please give my regards to the High Commissioner and tell him he's welcome anytime here on Access Now. Let's take a look at what's coming up in sports.
The number of Bahamians getting ready for March Madness. Details of that story and more coming up in sports.
Hi, I'm Brent Burrows, Vice President of Retail and Sales at CBS Bahamas and the CBS Pro Store. Not only do we guarantee the best prices on all your favorite building materials, but we're proud to offer the best delivery program in all of Nassau. Whether you buy 1 box of screws or a truckload of plywood, island-wide delivery is just $5. And for our Family Island customers, we're proud to offer complimentary drop-off to the mailboat of your choice. Visit us today at the CBS Pro Store on Robinson Road and check out our website to set up your next delivery.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting tingsybahamas.com.
Hey, what's up, Mario?
Hey, Dale, what's going on?
Have you seen ZNS new digital platforms?
No. Let me go check it out.
Good day, Bahamas. I'm Devontae Hanna, and this is ZNS Digital,
where we cater to your news and entertainment needs. Are you a foodie? I thought so. Then look out for Digital Bites.
Shining a light on Bahamians and the good that they do, ZNS Digital is home to the Sunshine Room.
Keeping up with the latest trends, our original content will keep you entertained.
Yeah, that's cool.
But have you seen the new website?
No, I didn't see it. Let me go look.
We're still your most trusted source for news and information.
That's ZNS Digital?
Yeah, that's ZNS Digital, the people station in your pocket.
Welcome to Tuesday Sports, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports. Well, it's March, and that officially means it's time for March Madness. A number of Bahamians set to compete in the big dance with the NCAA men's and women's basketball tournament set to tip off later this week. Now, Selection Sunday, leaving one of our own with some questions for the committee.
Yes, I'm shocked with the strength of schedule of a 3 and a net of a 12, and in the last month beating the number 8 and number 7 ranked team in the country. You would think that we would have a chance to host.
That was Yolette Maxey-McCoon speaking on the 5 seed her Ole Miss Lady Rebels received after Selection Sunday. Based on their strength of schedule, Coach Yo was hoping for a top 4 seed, where they would narrowly miss it out. They will host Ball State on Friday in Spokane. On the men's side, VJ Edgecombe and his Baylor Bears, a 9 seed in the East. They will open up against number 8 Mississippi State on Friday. AJ Storr in Kansas, a 7 seed out west. They will take on number 10 Arkansas on Thursday. Fred King and Creighton, a 9 seed in the South, will face the team he initially committed to in the Louisville Cardinals. Dayton Albury in the 10th seed Utah State in the Midwest. They will open up against 7 seed UCLA on Thursday. Valentino Simon and Nebraska Omaha, 15 seed in the West. They will take on Big East champion and 2 seed St. John's on Thursday. And on the coaching end, McCall McLean in Kentucky, a 3 seed in the Midwest. They'll face 14 seed Troy on Friday. And Brian Clark, an assistant with the Houston Cougars. They're the top seed in the Midwest, and they will take on 16 seed SIU Edwardsville. The big dance officially tipping off with the first 4 this evening. And that's when we look at your sports on this Tuesday. A check on weather when we return.
Welcome to What's Trending. Join me, Jiminita Swain.
And me, The Bahama Beauty, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m.
Only on the ZNS Network.
We seem to remember our athletes when they make us proud at the finish line. Throw a Junkanoo parade when they return home, toss them a few dollars, and then forget about them until the next Members of the prestigious Fourth Estate should never sell themselves to any politician. Instead, keep their hands and noses clean in order to publish or broadcast the unadulterated truth. Well, that's how I see it anyway.
Read as I see it, exclusively at ZNSBahamas.com. New articles premiere on Mondays at 9 a.m.
The Hidden Disabilities Sunflower is a globally recognized symbol for persons with invisible disabilities.
The Sunflower lanyard made our journey less stressful, smoother, and more inclusive.
REACH is proud to support the Hidden Sunflower Scheme, which makes the invisible visible. So far, the Nassau Airport Authority and the Nassau Cruise Port are Sunflower certified.
So if you see someone with a sunflower lanyard, always remember to be patient and ask if they need some help. Please be kind and always remember to show respect.
We wish to encourage more hotel operators with amenities such as water parks, restaurants, cinemas, government offices to join this initiative, making the Bahamas a more sunflower-friendly country.
Please feel free to reach out to the REACH office at 328-4123, or you can reach out to the National Commissions for Persons with Disabilities at 396-8700.
Welcome to What's Trending. Join me, Jiminita Swain.
And me, the Bahama Beauty, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m.
Only on the ZNS Network.
I don't know, but there's all kinds of cars in this parking lot. You ain't even know where to park. Yeah, just don't park in the, look at this way. Like, you ain't got nowhere to go. Don't park, just don't park in the handicap spot. Yeah, that's handicap. No, man, you can't park in the handicap spot. I ain't gonna be that long. I ain't gonna be that long. Handicap spot, boy, what's going on, dog? I tell you we shouldn't park here now. This way park here, man. I tell you we shouldn't park here. Don't get one of these things. My bad big bro, and he got a sticker inside this. This mud though. We gotta move. This is a handicap spot. Let's go. We gotta move. But we gotta move. Don't. We can move right now. Sorry.
Be considerate. Don't use disabled parking spaces without a decal in your vehicle. This message is brought to you by the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities.
It's time to swing it over to Matea Cunningham with Let's Talk Socials.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Talk Socials, where we break down what's trending on your timeline. This past weekend, all eyes were on one of the biggest events at UB, the Miss and Mr. UB pageant. The competition was intense as contestants put their best foot forward, showcasing talent, poise, and school spirit. But in the end, only one winner was crowned Miss UB and Mr. UB. Social media has been buzzing with reactions, from show-stopping photo shoots to behind-the-scenes prep. The content, it's been giving, but let's get into it. Check out these clips.
Runner-up in the 2025 Miss University of the Bahamas pageant. And the first runner-up is Miss Lord Criminal Justice, Jenny Francis Valley. Miss Valley Award is the 2025
So, who was your favorite? And more importantly, how do we feel about university pageants? It's still a relatively new concept in the Bahamas, but can we all agree that it gives students more to look forward to beyond the academics? And it helps to boost school pride. Anywho, that's it for Let's Talk Social. Stay tuned on more updates, and I'm Matea.
Thanks a lot, Matea. We're going to apologize for the weather forecast, but that does it for Access Now this evening, Malena.
Well, make sure to join us tomorrow and stay tuned for the rundown with Clint Watson.
Good night, everybody.
It's a joy, to help someone who is in need,
I'm proud to know that we are able to accommodate them with a hot meal, fresh meal, and a well-balanced meal.
A lot of our clients, as you know, it's in the inner city and persons who really and truly and so much have lost their jobs. And for whatever reason, 2 months, 3 months, they really don't have anything.
You have to have some kind of kindness to do this.
What does disability look like? In a busy airport terminal? At the check-in counter? At security checkpoints? Or even in baggage claim? Passengers with hidden disabilities often go unnoticed. Globally, 1 in 7 persons have some form of a disability. 80% of those disabilities are non-visible. In an airport environment, workers are often unaware of hidden physical, mental, or neurological disabilities that some passengers live with. This can lead to frustration and a less than ideal travel experience. So, how do we make the invisible more visible? At LPIA, we've implemented the Sunflower Lanyard program. The lanyards are visual cues for airport workers to immediately identify passengers who might need additional assistance. NAD is teaming up with the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities and key stakeholders at LPIA to launch the internationally recognized initiative. We're joining more than 180 airports and 26 countries already in the program. NAD is the first organization in the Bahamas to recognize the Sunflower Initiative. It's a way to show our continued commitment to making LPIA a safe, welcoming, and inclusive airport for all. Passengers needing to secure a free Sunflower lanyard can email sunflower@nas.bs or call 1242-397-8600. For more information, visit www.nassauLPIA.com.
Planning the execution of a newscast is serious business. From the assignment to the concept of the story, everything has to be precise, on point, always. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, is your trusted news service. We get it right the first time. Our preparation for you each night is done with care, knowing that our voices will reach you on 700 islands and keys with unquestionable accuracy. It gives me great pleasure each night to say, welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. I'm your national anchor, Mukesh Lopinder.
And with a faint taste of cigarettes, you write a hallelujah song. And ain't
Hey, what's the deal with the babes? You keep 10 feet away at all times. Any part of you that crosses that line will be removed.
I know that you blame me. Oh, you're just trying to help you.
I did what was right for those girls. And my daughter. I told them what they needed to hear. They need to hear the truth.
And past town at the edge, looking down at a bubble. And with a faint taste of cigarettes, you write a hallelujah.
Clint Watson has been the trusted voice of journalism for over 2 decades. He is your first choice for hard-hitting discussions, your best choice for current affairs issues and investigative journalism. It's time to start the journey of relentless journalism. It's time to start the journey of facts over fiction. It's time for the Rundown with Clint Watson here on ZNS, where only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
I haven't been coming to this island since I was 12 years old. It didn't take me long to realize the rich history it has here. When I bought this island in 2018, I fulfilled a lifelong dream. The goal is not only to preserve the memories I made over those years, but to make new ones and to give others the opportunity to do the same. As we go through this process, it has become clear to me, we aren't just rebuilding an island, we're reviving a legend.
The Ministry of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting is partnering with the Bahamas Christian Council to help build stronger Bahamian families.
I believe that our ultimate experience in living begins with God and family.
Our purpose is to facilitate, guide, inspire, and equip you to have a better life.
And a strong family foundation begins with each of us trying to become better individuals. Let's unite
for a stronger Bahamas.
This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting, the heartbeat of the nation, leading Bahamians from dependency to self-sufficiency to economic empowerment.
The internet is an essential tool for children and adults. It can be used to research school reports, communicate with teachers, and play interactive games. But online access also comes with risks, such as inappropriate content, cyberbullying, and online predators. Here are a few safety tips to help keep you and your children safe. Do not post too much personal information such as home addresses and phone numbers. Keep your privacy settings on and practice safe browsing to ensure children don't go on any inappropriate sites. Be careful about posting pictures or your whereabouts when going on vacation. Always know your child's passwords for email addresses and social media sites. Be sure to have your house computer in a common area where it can be easily monitored. Have conversations with them to make sure they aren't scheduling meetups with new people. Online safety is just as important for children as it is for adults. Not only are children more vulnerable to financial and identity scams, but they are also at risk of encountering inappropriate and potentially disturbing content. I am Police Cadet 80 Jamara Rule, reminding you that safety is everybody's business. So let us do our part and continue to create safer communities.
At Harold One, I'm Ted Jervis, and this is ZNS.
The Rundown is brought to you by Commonwealth Brewery Limited. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the show. It's great to have you with us tonight. We begin with a story we've been following for several days now. America's top official in the Bahamas is tonight chiming in on the multinational uproar triggered by a threat from the United States to allegedly ban foreign officials involved in human trafficking and other human and labor rights violations. The issue, putting the Cuban medical mission program in this country under the microscope. Here's Corvell Pyfrom.
We are neighbors, friends, the closest of counterparts. Our relationship continues.
U.S. Charge d'Affaires Kimberly furnished Tuesday on the impact this Cuban medical program fiasco is having on relations between the Bahamas and the United States, asserting none.
Had this discussion with, top leadership here, with the Prime Minister, the Deputy Prime Minister. We've talked about it at length. We're not targeting any individual Minister of State here. There's no concerns there. It's just simply a discussion. We're talking about how these Cuban medicals are treated, how medical professionals are treated, how they're paid. We want to make sure that their human rights are being met, right? And this is really more about the Cuban government and not the Bahamian government.
Prime Minister Philip Davis addressing the issue as well Monday, advising that the government was aware that a portion of salaries paid to Cuban medical professionals is sent to an agency in Cuba. However, Mr. Davis was unsure whether that portion eventually ends up with the Cuban government. The Trump administration is threatening to cancel the visas of all foreign government officials and their immediate family, who the U.S. deems complicit in the Cuban labor export program. The U.S. charges that the program aids in human rights violations, specifically human trafficking. But Prime Minister Davis has countered that the Bahamas nor its Caribbean counterparts would ever knowingly permit human trafficking. It's a position the top U.S. diplomat seems to back.
Bahamas is not targeted by this. This went to every embassy in the world. The Cuban medical program is something that we're concerned about. There have been some human rights issues within that program. We're not aware of any that are happening in the Bahamas. It's simply the beginning of the opening of a discussion.
Meanwhile, Mr. Davis says the government has begun reviewing its agreements with Cuba to ensure compliance with international human rights standards. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corvell Pyfrom.
So as you can see there, the U.S. diplomat is doing her best to try and do damage control over something that pretty much is quite stupid. To accuse the region of being involved in such activities was reckless, to say at best, of our neighbors to the north, and is just unbecoming. Without proof or validation. And I think investigations by authorities in the U.S. would have showed them that these programs that are running in the Caribbean, where they're providing medical service from Cubans and helping their economies, was doing just that. It's standing in the gap of nations that need to find solutions to help their people with medical issues. That's what our neighbors to the north should be seeing. And why are we doing this? Well, the Minister of Foreign Affairs said it last night, because our locals and our natives who are being trained in these areas are being poached by the U.S. and Canada because of bigger salaries, bigger conditions, and they're leaving their home countries to work for the U.S., leaving a serious drain on the resources in the Caribbean, particularly here in the Bahamas. And so countries in the Caribbean are forced to find some resolution and ways of being able to fill critical needs in healthcare. Because healthcare throughout the region is suffering because the talent is being poached by the U.S. And so these countries are doing what they must to try and get professionals who can at least allow there to be some sustainability or some stableness in healthcare in the country. We heard the Cubans are a big part of why we're able to do the eye program here in the Bahamas. So at the end of the day, to knock a program that's causing countries in the Caribbean like the Bahamas to be able to function in healthcare, rather than saying, okay, you have a need here, here's how we can assist you. Here's what we're going to do for you. Since we're taking your people, here's how we're going to give back to you so that you can save lives. No, instead of doing that, they rather come up with a scenario saying, oh, we're going to withhold visas from those authorities and diplomats from these regions where we suspect this could be the case without even investigating it. It's reckless. But like you heard the Minister of Foreign Affairs say last night, we are trusting in the fact that the people we deal with in these diplomatic seats of power and authority and our neighbors to the north, we can trust the integrity that you will deal with things diplomatically. But the reality, we've seen what's been happening in the 6 to 8 weeks of a new president in office in the United States. We've seen a lot of the decisions don't appear to, they go against the norm. I'll say it that way, I'll say it diplomatically. They go against the norm of governance. And so, boy, I tell you, it's scary. But hey, you have the U.S. diplomat here, because she's in the Bahamas. She has to try and maintain that relationship with government. She's here saying, right off the top, well, it's not really you guys. That's not really meant for you guys. Well, thank you, we appreciate that, but it was directed to us. So we can only go based on what was said to us. The damage control is good, but so is it for us, as they're telling us, or is it not for us, as she's telling us? Nonetheless, we understand she has to try and make nice because of strange decisions that are coming from the powers that be. Anyway, let's go on to another story. Also making headlines tonight, a breakthrough in the Valley Boys' continued standoff as the Trevor Davis-led faction secures a victory. Now, if you don't understand what's going on, we'll tell you. Here's Lloyd Allen.
After more than a year of wrangling in court and out of court, the Valley Boys apparently finding a way forward following a ruling in court. Helping to divulge exactly what that means is Deputy Chair Jeff Monker. Jeff, tell us what happened.
Okay, as you know, we've been at this for more than a year now. The court this morning gave a ruling that said that we were the owners of the Valley Boys name. what that means for us is the group now can move ahead after this upcoming season. It's been really, really rough over the past year. Of course, this affected sponsorship and everything else. The group, I must say, I must really give kudos to all the group members. They held strong through all this.
Now, coming out of that press conference that your group just had, again, we know that you have elections coming up on the 29th. You also intend to make application to the JCNP for registration before April 1st. Tell us why that's so important.
Well, firstly, we promised when we started on this journey that we would have fair and free elections. We ratified our constitution, I think, about a month ago. Come March 29th, all positions are open for free and fair elections. So coming out of that, we should have a new executive team and be ready to take on Bay Street. As it relates to the JCNP, as you know, last year there was a lot of back and forth with the JCNP. We anticipate that this year things will go smoothly. Our plans is to do whatever it takes to get to be able to compete as an A category group on Bay Street come Boxing Day and New Year's.
And finally, of course, we know that your group represents over 800 members. Again, to those on the other side, the other faction, if there's one thing that you can say to them, what would that be?
Well, this is one Valley Boys. Our goal throughout the whole year was unity. We've attempted on a number of occasions to bring the group together. Now I think this is a perfect opportunity to invite all on board. So let's come back together and participate as the Valley Boys.
Again, it's all about unity. Reporting here from Breezes Hotel for the Bahamas tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
There you have it. Could this be, I can just hear Valley Boys all over, excited and anticipating. This is our comeback. This is our comeback. We're coming back. Well, let's see. Because reality is, Bahamians are challenged with unifying. Because people egos get in the way. And you have a challenge with people coming together. But some people say, well, they don't want to come together. They don't need to. The Way Forward had enough support to be able to compete as an A category group. And now that they have the name, maybe they will appear as the Valley Boys. And the other group will either change their name and become no more or become no more. But from what we know, what was the Way Forward, but now become the official Valley Boys, and we'll see whether they unite. And we wish them the best, because at the end of the day, and I knew them and I started talking, Tanya Smith-Cartwright would start texting me because she is so into her Valley Boys. But I'll tell you this, we're rooting for all to go well. I believe in this country, while we may have our supporters and who we support and the groups we support, we want to see issues resolved. And I think this is now a step forward, and hopefully it will bring the resolution that is needed for the Valley Boys, and we wish them certainly well. At the end of the day, we continue to open every door. But that's a different story. Before we go to our break, I know we didn't get to see weather forecast. Saxons, yes. But we didn't get to see the weather forecast in the 7:30 news because they had some technical difficulty. So guess what? I'm going to give you a treat. I'll give you weather with Basil Dean, who's in our weather center right about now. Hey, Baz, what's it looking like tonight?
Well, good evening, Clint. We had a cold front that raced through the islands yesterday. It brought with it some heavy showers and even some isolated thunderstorms and some breezy conditions as well. But we can expect a quick warm-up as of Thursday, but that will be short-lived. Reason why? Well, another cold front. That's going to move in here on Friday morning, and that will maintain the nice chilly nighttime temperatures that we are currently experiencing. Your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Live Business, where we simply bulk up your business. In the Northwestern Islands tonight through tomorrow, those winds are going to be out of the north at 12 to 18 knots. The wave heights 3 to 6 feet over the ocean, so we're still maintaining that caution flag for small boaters in the Northwest Bahamas tonight. And then for the Central and Southeastern Islands, we'll have a more northwesterly flow, also at 12 to 18 knots. The wave heights 3 to 6 feet. Caution flags again in place for the Central and Southeastern Islands. But then come Thursday, we'll see a significant reduction in the winds. They will be out of the northwest at 10 to 15 knots throughout the 700 islands, with wave height down 2 to 4 feet. But join me at 11 o'clock for a full weather update. Clint?
All right, thank you, Basil. Then this just in, I understand Tanya Smith-Cartwright says they're having a prayer for the Valley Boys unification effort, and she says they'll announce when and where that will take place. I mean, we'll be praying for the Valley Boys. We're going to a break. When we come back, we were talking about investments last week, and so tonight we're going to talk about a major investment going on with a big partner in tourism. Of course, Philip Simon, the new president of Royal Caribbean Bahamas, is here. And so we're going to talk about what something has been controversial. Well, I'll really talk about the way forward. Way forward. That seems to be coming up a lot tonight, way forward. You're watching The Rundown here on the ZNS Network. Go ahead and open your door. We'll be back after this break.
Mailboat service is a critical service to the islands of the Bahamas. Certainly, Andrews has always been there and dear to us. That's where we're born and raised. And so we play a crucial role in advancing the growth and development of Andrews. Customers want service and they want consistency. From the start, that's been our commitment. We work to sail on time every time. Our customers have come now to expect this from us. And one of the biggest challenges we've had was finding adequate funding. SPDC from the very start has been a lifesaver. My advice to young people, if you have a vision, a passion, an idea, go for it. Don't give up. It's not easy. If it was, everybody would be doing it. Be consistent and you'll get there.
Is the Little Caesars Stuffed Crust Pizza. Get more pizza for less money. Only $12. It's a whole new level of pizza with cheese stuffed crust so spectacular that there's nothing left.
Pizza.
A delicious pepperoni pizza with the crust stuffed with lots of cheese and brushed with butter and garlic flavor and sprinkled with Parmesan cheese. Hot and ready Thursday to Saturday between 4 and 8 for only $12. Simply irresistible. And only at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
Are you ready for the hottest sports show on the market? It's called The Timeout. Sundays on the ZNS Television Network. In our first show, 4 decades of sports in the country.
Welcome back to the show, and of course, a special good evening to all of you who are in the Lions Den on Facebook. Good to have you, as well as those of you watching on YouTube, or if you're watching on your various cable platforms or Flow TV, or if you're watching from Turks and Caicos or around the Caribbean, around the world. Welcome to The Rundown. Thanks for being here. Well, 17 acres, 3 pools, 2 beaches, and a myriad of other opportunities will be available at Royal Caribbean's Beach Club on Paradise Island. It is the first in the Vacation brand's Royal Beach Club collection, combining the striking beaches of Paradise Island and Royal Caribbean's signature experiences to create an all-inclusive beach day. Now, the Royal Beach Club has another first. Bahamians will own up to 49%, while 1% of the revenue will go into a fund for the revitalization of downtown Nassau. Now, here to tell us more is Royal Caribbean Bahamas President and well-known business executive, Philip Simon. Welcome to The Rundown. It's good to have you here, Phil.
Good to be here. I think this is my first.
It's your first. Welcome. Welcome. It's good to have you, man. Listen, so let's talk about the vision of this whole thing, all right? Before we even get to the economic model, I found that's interesting, the fact of the 1% and the 49%. We'll talk about that in a second. But what is the vision of this beach club? We've been hearing about it. People have talked about it. People have said it's created some controversy. What is the vision?
It's to create the ultimate pool and beach day, wrapped into the essence and the culture of the Bahamas. It provides another opportunity for guests that come here by the millions to experience our culture, within a relatively short proximity to the cruise port. So this has been ongoing for many, many years now. And, you know, the intent is to provide that growing number of visitors, and we can talk about that, additional options. It's a day excursion. And so you said it at the beginning of the show. It is the ultimate pool and beach day. Designed over 17 acres. 13 of those acres would have been privately acquired property, and 4 of those acres are within the government crown land under which we have a lease.
People will ask and say, well, why go ahead and invest and create this private property for people to go straight from the cruise ship to another property owned by the cruise ship? What about the Bahamian experience? What about experiencing Nassau? What about diverting people to experience what locals own so that we can share the piece of the pie? What do you say to that?
Well, the same thing I've been saying. This is, you know, last year, 2024, we had 2.3 million visitors. Royal Caribbean, we're talking about, that came. Over the next couple of years, by 2027, we intend to grow that number by 1 million passengers.
Wow.
You'll see some of the largest ships that are now being created, the Icon class. We've got Utopia of the Seas, which is a dedicated itinerary just for the Bahamas. And so you've got this growing number of visitors, passengers coming to the Bahamas, and they are still looking for lots of things to do.
Wow.
You see any number, droves actually, on Bay Street at any given point in time. And we want to encourage them to, again, not only come off of the ships, but to spend, to enjoy the culture, the arts, the crafts, the music, etc. And so we've got, and I don't call it a problem, we've got a tremendous opportunity as a country now, because sometimes I got to switch these hats. As a country, that this growing number of cruise passengers, we have to find additional things for them to do. So this was actually a part of the genesis, even of the thinking with the Beach Club.
And it makes you say that I just looked on Sunday and saw about 6 large ships.
That's about 30,000.
In port. And that's what I said. I said, okay, if you multiply that by 5,000 passengers, and including crew and all of that, you've got about 30,000 people that are in port for the day.
For the day.
That's a lot of people for any significant amount of companies to make money.
Yeah.
Where are they going?
Well, firstly, we want them to come off the ships, because they're going to pay that tax anyway. We want them to come off the ships, and they're looking for things to do. You know, Nassau has always been one of those really idyllic locations, port locations. Very few ports around the world are in the heart of a city.
Right.
And literally they are at our doorsteps, and they come off and they're looking. Now, granted, there are things to do, and every day entrepreneurs are trying to take advantage of the opportunity. But again, that number is growing, and the Beach Club is just another answer. It's a day excursion. It's a day excursion, and by the way, it's a day excursion not just for the guests and passengers of Royal Caribbean, but also for Bahamians.
Really?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
So anybody can participate and experience what this day is like?
Cruise passengers and Bahamians. Royal Caribbean cruise passengers.
Now, obviously, that means that if you go to the beach, you don't necessarily, you can still have time to go look around Nassau and then go to the beach when you want to go.
That's the intent. You know, obviously, to get to and from the Royal Beach Club will be by vessel, and so you have ferries that are making the loop
around the clock.
And the way that they do it is they come back over on Prince George Wharf. They can hop off. They can go to Straw Market. They can continue the day if they want to downtown or wherever else they want to go. This is just an additional option.
Let's talk about the history and the journey to get to where we are now, because it's been a long one. It's been a minute, a tumultuous one. Talk about that.
I don't quite know who was the first person to bring up the idea. You know, maybe somebody sitting in the Nassau Harbor looking across the way. But, you know, that property on Paradise Island has been sitting for a long time. You know, you would have seen some of the stories, some of the buildings that were over there just sitting, actually falling into the harbor for a long time. And so it came about as an opportunity, obviously growing the business market, but at the same time seeing the vision behind what could be. On that northern side of Paradise Island, you have the beautiful beaches there. And you have 2 corners. There'll be an East Beach and a West Beach, and of course you got the Iron Shore in between. And then you have the harbor side, you know, which is, again, the Nassau Harbor is really special. And so over the course of, you know, I would say probably 8+ years, Royal Caribbean acquired the properties that were abandoned, that were derelict, bought those, and then approached the government regarding a 7-acre, originally 7 acres of Crown land lease that was eventually amended to 4.
So let's talk about the issue, obviously the controversy that came up. regarding Toby Smith and him saying, listen, I have this property, I was given this grant from government. Is it a case of bullying? This big company saying, okay, no, we want this, we're gonna push you off of this, we're gonna make sure we get it, and we're gonna economize it.
Yeah, I seriously doubt that, based on everything that I've seen. Again, I've been with the company for about a year and a half now, but everything that I've seen, and I really don't even like talking about the Toby Smith issue, but from everything that I've seen, a lease was not executed.
Right.
And so, you know, there might have been an agreement for a lease, but there was no lease agreement.
Right.
And so, however that came about is separate and apart from the company's journey. However, the company decided, given the conflict, to amend its lease from 7 acres to 4 acres, eliminating any conversation related to the 3 acres, any potential conflict, etc. That was something it did on its own. So it surrendered the 7-acre lease, and along with government created a new 4-acre lease that composes the Crown land that now make up the 17. So there's no overlapping conflict with regards to any Crown land issues.
What is the date of completion, expected date of completion?
December of this year. I mean, you look at it across the way in the harbor there, and you're like, how is that going to happen? Well, you're praying, man. So we're all going to pray that it happens. But again, December of this year is targeted, slated for opening.
I want to take a break. When we come back, I want to talk about the economic model, because you've given a unique economic model of how this will work. Let's talk in detail about how that works and how people can perhaps see some advantage in there for them.
Okay.
All right? You're watching The Rundown here on the ZNS Network. There's more after the break. Stay close.
Welcome to What's Trending. Join me, Jiminita Swain.
And me, The Bahama Beauty, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m.
Only on the ZNS Network.
Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, we have been in Exoma now for the past 4 years, carrying out our paving program. A part of our company's philosophy is to do some work to international standards. So when you look at our paving division, we have a state-of-the-art lab to do all of our testing in-house, as well as a state-of-the-art asphalt plant with a trained technician carrying out the work on that site. The overarching goal of our company is to produce the work that we're doing in the entire Bahamas to international standards. We also make a difference by the training of our staff. We have a very intensive training program going on to where we are teaching young men how to learn the art of striping. Being a young man myself, I've made mistakes in the past. I was given a second chance to better my life, and it's only fitting that we pass that along. What's important for us is giving them a second chance for them to get a skill and a career that could take them further in life.
Welcome back to The Rundown. My guest tonight is the president of the Royal Caribbean Bahamas Limited, and we're talking about the new project off of Paradise Island, which is expected to be create a new business structure, pretty much, for this kind of business investment. And that's what we're talking to Philip Simon about. The business structure, the economic model. Talk about it, and what is it designed to do? What is the model, and why this model?
I'll tell you what, it's one of the reasons I decided to accept the offer for the company.
Wow.
Because, well, you know my history. I've always been, I would like to consider myself a true Bahamian.
Right.
Nationalist of soil. I love my country. And it's one of those things where I went through a 2-month process of back and forth and questioning. And, you know, when I was at the Chamber of Commerce, you know, back in the day, the cruise line might have had a different type of, you know, impact upon me. But the model that was presented, and I got to tip my hat to the government of the Bahamas. And when I say government, I mean continuous government, because this stretches across different administrations. It was an incredible negotiated position for all involved. Like it said, this is the first beach club in a series of beach clubs that the Royal Caribbean is going to do. But I don't think any is going to have this type of impact and this type of special structure. So the structure is this. Everybody talks about the 49-51% split. So 49% goes to government and Bahamians for investment. The government has the Crown land, and then there will be an equity raise later in the year for the delta of that 49%. The 51% stays with the company. 1% of the gross revenue goes into a fund for the revitalization of downtown Nassau and whatever else that particular foundation fund sees fit to do. But it is to improve the destination. It's a commitment from the company. For example, if the gross revenues are $100 million for the year, that's $1 million that goes towards different improvements in the area. In addition to that, and this is one that really kind of gets me excited, is that all of the service operations, so whether it's landscaping, laundry, transportation, pest control, security, engineering, maintenance, and the list goes on and on. It's on our website. Dozens of opportunities for Bahamian businesses. All of those operational areas will be outsourced to third-party companies. And so we have a pretty robust RFP process that's ongoing right now, providing those opportunities for persons to submit proposals for those business areas.
So you're telling me that this Royal Caribbean is creating this business opportunity, but not just for itself, but for entrepreneurs to get a piece of the pie, for the economy to benefit, and also for downtown development to benefit. Correct. Now, here is why I will pause and say, okay, that's a good thing. Because I have talked about it for so many times on this show, that we, as I think the Bahamas is a gold mine. We are attracting billions of dollars in investments from some of the world's wealthiest business persons, companies. And I'm saying at the end of the day, why are we struggling with social programs? Why are we struggling to get programs funded for young people? Why are we struggling to develop our infrastructure if we are attracting the world's wealthiest? And I said, could something not be done to be put into these heads of agreements to say that a certain percentage is put aside for a special fund, whatever is necessary, to help give back to our communities, to help build infrastructure in the Bahamas so that people benefit? And here it is, we have an agreement that actually does that. Correct. And this is what I'm saying we ought to be seeing happen with all of these investment companies. Why not? Make it mandatory that you help build the very country that you're going to make your wealth from. Absolutely. It's only fair. And so hats off to Royal Caribbean for actually putting that 1% in there to help the development of downtown, because we've been talking about downtown for how many, talking about buildings, talking about dilapidated buildings, and what are we going to do? Let's turn it into a residential community. Let's turn it into an open green space. Let's put some art down there. But it takes money to do that, and it has to come from somewhere.
And there's a lot of money out there. Of course. And any number of places where it could come from. And in addition to that, and this is one of those things that kind of floated around there in social media, et cetera, but the management of the beach club will be 100% Bahamian. So when we open and we put a layer of management on top of the relationships, the business relationships, they will be Bahamians. We've already identified our general manager. We've already identified our director of island operations. We've already identified our director of finance and accounting and engineering. And I think when we make those announcements before the end of this month, people will be really proud of these young Bahamians who will be the executive level management of the Royal Beach Club. All Bahamian. All Bahamian.
This is now. Here's a part that you talked about that I wonder if Bahamians got. The RFPs are out.
They're out.
For your company to be able to bid for certain contracts that you can run and operate based on the businesses. Now, we keep talking about, I'm working for nobody. Well, this is why you have to form your company, so that you can be the employer and have access to a company which pretty much has a track record of succeeding, which means your business can succeed if you do it right, and if you have the right attitude, the right service, and the right level of business, then you can do well. We don't need to be working for people. You just need to have a good business plan, have a good company, and access the opportunities. Don't complain about it if you've never applied.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I gotta say, the website is www.royalbeachclub@paradiseisland.com, and that's royalbeachclub@paradiseisland.com. Just look under local partnerships. In addition to that, the Artist Discovery Program. Again, we want this site to be infused, every square inch of it, with as much Bahamian culture as possible, the tastes, the touch, the feel, everywhere they turn, because this is why people travel. At the end of the day, people travel to experience the destinations in which they go to. And so the Artist Discovery Program is ongoing right now. That RFP is, deadline is the 28th of this month. And so what does that mean? There are any number of opportunities across the entire site, whether it's paintings, whether it's murals, whether it's entertainment, and that list goes on and on for persons to get creative and to look at the master plan in the site and say, you know what, this is something that I could deliver. Submit a proposal and let's consider it.
I'm looking at the footage, and I'm just really seeing it for the first time now, and I'm realizing how close it really is to the actual dock itself, where the Royal Caribbean. It almost seems it's right in the background.
Just about. Just about. And so we have ferries that will swing around.
Well, that's what I'm about to say. You have to swing around. You have to come off the dock.
Come off the dock and swing over to the site, and then come back on the other side of Prince George Wharf. And then, of course, visitors can go into downtown in different areas.
Of course. We're looking at some of the construction that's going on.
Yeah.
What are some of the amenities that this resort, well, I call it resort, but this beach club will feature?
We have 3 different zones, themed zones. We have a family zone, we have a party zone, we have a chill zone, and in each one of those zones are designed in such a way that caters to, you know, we have the family beach.
I'm laughing. I got to give my analysis. You said the family zone,
party zone, and the chill zone.
Party zone and chill zone. So I can already tell you what's happening. The family zone, that's the mother, father, and the kids. The party zone, that's strictly young people. They're going to go crazy.
No doubt about it.
And the chill zone, that's for groundly and groundy who want quiet, peace and quiet.
Something for everybody.
They don't want to be bothered by people, something for everybody. I can already see how it's already zoned off.
Everybody. In the party zone, you know, we intend to have the world's largest swim up bar. We're going to call it the Floating Flamingo. You know, and so, you know, when you look at that site, I'm like, man, this is something. This is unique.
Wow.
This is going to be special. It's coming with its own challenges. Obviously, we've come a long way, Clint, and you know, as transparent as we can be. You know, I've heard the accusations. I've made myself available. The company has dotted every I, crossed every T. The amount of studies that have been done on the environment, the economic model which has been negotiated with government. What more can be done? What more can be asked for? I think all parties have done an excellent job. And I think at the end of the day, we'll be very proud of it. I really do.
Obviously, this is going to be an added attraction for the tourism product.
Yeah.
Persons have said when they come to the Bahamas, there's not enough to do. Is it just going to be, obviously, a place to relax and chill, or are there going to be activities and things that people can actually do?
Same thing. You know, if you go to that site and you look at the RFPs, you'll see one in there that says beach activities. And again, so if you're a Bahamian company and you have some great ideas for beach activities or for entertainment or any of those things that are listed there, present it. And if you see something that's not listed and you think it's a great idea, submit it. You know, let's talk about it. Let's see whether or not it can be accommodated.
What is Royal Caribbean's presence like in the Bahamas compared to what it does around the world? How is this just, okay, let's test it out in the Bahamas, or is there real confidence from this mega cruise line about the Bahamian market? I want you to answer that question when we come back after the break. And let's talk about the presence of Royal Caribbean in the Bahamas. We're back after this. Stay close.
I am a master plumber by profession. I've been doing plumbing for over 40-odd years. When I was 9 months old, I was diagnosed with polio. To me, living with polio, I took it the way it is. I never allowed my polio to get in my way of anything. In fact, I love when people doubt me, and I just prove them wrong. And let me tell you, in the world, you could only find a plumber as good as me, but you ain't gonna find no plumber better than me. People with disability, they just need a chance. In this program, I feel so encouraged. Most of the mentors have different kind of disability, but disabilities like me. Sharing and caring and showing so much support with people with disability. They would encourage you to go beyond. I wish this was around a long time ago. Right now, I would have been a millionaire. You out there who have a disability, don't be afraid. Take the step. If you believe it, you could achieve it. And remember one thing, ain't no one better than me, and ain't no one better than y'all. God made all us equal.
For more information about how the SBDC can help your small business to make a big impact, give us a call at 461-7232 or visit sbdcbahamas.com.
Covering the news seems easy, but we put thought into what we're doing. The Bahamas Tonight Access Now, here to inform, educate, and entertain. A new type of newscast featuring social media trends, news from around the islands, interviews with the people you like in our communities, sports, weather, and fabulous entertainment. That's a Bahamas Tonight Access Now with Marlena Leonard and LaDon Davis. 7:30, Monday to Friday. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Welcome back to the Rundown. My guest tonight is, of course, Royal Caribbean Bahamas President Philip Simon, talking about not just the Royal Beach Club that's going to be opening later this year, the end of this year, but really the cruise line. We're now turning to how the Bahamas is considered by Royal Caribbean. It's a major play in the cruise industry, Royal Caribbean. How does the Bahamas stack up as far as destinations?
It's one of its most important markets.
Wow.
Obviously, it's within the whole Caribbean area, and usually when you do take a cruise, you stop at different destinations within the itinerary. But in terms of private destinations within the cruise industry, Coco Cay is top rated. I dare say it's number one. It's year after year, it gets top rating in the overall industry, and of course, that's in our own Berry Islands.
That's amazing.
Perfect day at Coco Cay.
What about it is causing it to receive such high rankings?
Well, I would like to say it's the destination. As a proud Bahamian, obviously the company also does a tremendous job in the product itself. You know, Coco Cay has the thrills and the chills, and it has, you know, everything. It has the beaches, it has the entertainment, the activities, straight across the board. But again, that's all within the environment in the context of the Bahamas. And so I think that's really the lure within the product that we give to our guests.
When we talk about this destination, there are opportunities that Royal Caribbean has provided beyond just being a cruise destination. They said, listen, we want Bahamians to be a part of what has been happening. Are Bahamians taking advantage? I mean, somehow we seem to be people that we want job opportunities, but we don't go nowhere.
Yeah.
Right? We really won't go to Family Island for a job.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the response with job opportunities in Royal Caribbean.
Yeah, you know, and that's something that's obviously come up, and persons kind of challenge it, and you talk about the private islands, and yes, there's obviously room for growth. But what you find is that a lot of Bahamians just don't want to stay. You know, you're there several months at a time, you know, and you're working, 6, sometimes 7 days a week, and so you're away from your family, and so that's a real commitment. When you're young, I mean, obviously it's exciting, it's adventurous, you can do all of that, but what we are finding is that the turnover still remains a challenge, and so we've been working, obviously with government, the Department of Labor, Ministry of Immigration, with labor certificates, trying to reduce those, because it is cheaper for the company to engage Bahamians than to pursue, foreign labor.
So are you saying you're having a real challenge getting Bahamians to sign up for jobs with any long-term commitment?
Yeah, that has been a challenge.
And I want to make sure we say that clearly, because we keep talking about job opportunities. People keep saying, oh, I need to work, I don't have a job. And here you have a company saying, we would love to hire Bahamians.
Let me put it this way. We have a recruitment office downtown at the Point, near Margaritaville. And for any person that is interested in working at Coco Cay, in pursuing opportunities, additional opportunities that will come up at the Royal Beach Club, and of course all of the other businesses that we have here, visit the recruitment office.
Now, let's see who's going to sit back and say, I need a job. Because sometimes we want all of the boxes checked. And sometimes you won't get all of them checked, right? When people are looking for the perfect employee, they won't get all of your boxes checked. There are some deficiencies, and sometimes people have to accept that. And so you cannot sit home and say, ain't no job, the economy bad, I can't find no work. And you have a major company in the Bahamas saying, we would love to have Bahamians come and work for us who could have some commitment of long term. Because they need people. You need people.
We need people. You know, people challenge us all the time, and, you know, you have persons who, you know, obviously are intent on saying different things and say, well, you know, well, this position, why do you have a foreigner working in this position?
Of course. We like to say that all the supervisors and managers are foreigners.
Yeah, and so some of it has some justification to it. And again, the challenge is really trying to find the proper, motivated employee that is going to stick and stay. And it's incumbent upon not just the company, Royal Caribbean, but also too, the country, the government, and the people to work towards these opportunities. I mean, obviously it's something that we would want to explore with all of the relevant skill sets and areas of employment.
When we look about the opportunity in tourism, what do you see as a stakeholder? Even outside of your position as in Royal Caribbean, you've had a stake in the economy of the Bahamas and seeing it grow and so forth. What do you see the future for us as tourism and going to the next level? What do you see some of the key ingredients are for the Bahamas that we need to see and put in place to be able to see this kind of growth come to fruition?
Well, I mean, well, it's always education. It starts there, right? I mean, obviously, educated people, you know, creates opportunities, whether it's entrepreneurship or just even expanding business corporations. You know, when we think about Royal Caribbean, I mean, you know, we've been around for 50 years here in the Bahamas, catered to over 30 million guests. I mean, the economic impact last year alone was 450 million, right?
450 million.
450 million, right? And so, as a country, you know, we always had this, you know, this talk back in the day and says, you know, we really need to diversify, you know, away from tourism. And, you know, I spent a couple of years at the Chamber of Commerce, and one of the things that I always said when we're having all these globalization conversations, et cetera, we still have the best comparative advantage in the entire world called location, location, location. Smack dab in the middle of North and South America. And yeah, we don't need to diversify away from tourism. We can continue to diversify tourism because you think about any industry, it all exists within tourism. We have millions of visitors. I dare anybody to find a better brand name in the entire world than Bahamas.
Yeah.
And so, to me, the opportunity still remains there, even within that one segment or that major segment that we call tourism. Now, again, different forms of tourism. You know, we've seen economic shocks, you know, that occur from time to time. We've seen the devastation that can come from hurricanes, et cetera. And so, yes, there has to be, obviously, some components that supplement it. But I still see tremendous opportunity.
Of course, because when it's time to bounce back, the industry that bounces the country back is still tourism.
Correct, absolutely.
It's still tourism. Yeah. We as a Bahamian people, I think, we do it well, but I don't think we understand the magnitude of it because we live here, right? And still, believe it or not, there are perhaps more Bahamians than others who have not seen their own country. Then there are people who said, I've gone to all the family islands. So you still have too many Bahamians who said, I've only seen Nassau. They don't know, they only see from pictures what the other islands are, but they have not embraced them, they have not experienced them. So they perhaps do not understand the magnitude of their own country. And I still believe that it's untapped to our own people.
Yeah. And again, it's just another opportunity for internal tourism.
For domestic tourism.
Domestic tourism. You know, a lot of Bahamians, they've been to Miami, they've been to Walmart, but they haven't been to Crooked Island. You know, and so, you're right. You know, so, you know, the opportunity remains, Glenn. It really is right there in front of us. So, you know, we talk about the impact of the cruise industry and you know, on any given day, I think on Sunday you said there's probably 6 ships there.
Yeah, 6.
You know, we've seen the opposite. We've seen days when there are no ships that call upon the Port of Nassau. You know, how's it look downtown? You know, and so there's work to be done. I mean, years ago, I think somebody was saying when we came in, you know, the ships used to overnight.
Yeah.
You know? Maybe you said it, and you know, but that's when you had the residency downtown, and you had, you know, nighttime activities, etc. And so whose responsibility is that? Is it the cruise lines to just stay in the absence of activities and things to do, or is it incumbent upon us to create, you know, again, we keep on saying these opportunities, and I can't speak for, you know, the corporate leaders within Royal Caribbean, but I can certainly, you know, encourage, you know, that we look at a way to get them to overnight once again.
All right, we're going to take our final break. When we come back, we'll wrap things up and take a little trek on the inside. What is it like to be the president of one of the world's most distinguished cruise lines, at least here in the Bahamas? We'll talk about it after the break. Stay close.
We're here at the Nassau Village Community Center project, where over the past 17 months, we've hired over 20 Bahamian subcontractors to bring this beautiful project to fruition.
I've been living in Nassau Village for more than 19 years, and to see a project like this bring great joy and pride to me.
This state-of-the-art multi-purpose community center will serve as a crime-fighting initiative in the community. Also help with the education of our kids in this community and a hurricane shelter.
Yeah, and it also shows what we as Bahamians can achieve when we work hand in hand with each other.
We have the technical know-how, and we can pretty much deliver on any project here in the Bahamas or in the world.
Bahamas Scribe and the Bahamian Company, they prove that they believe in Bahamians.
Based on the outcome of this project, I don't think they're disappointed in giving a small person an opportunity to do a job such as this.
The more opportunity they get, the more opportunity we will get.
If you look around and see the work done so far, it just shows what we as Bahamians can do.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting tingsybahamas.com.
Welcome back. Wrapping up a great discussion with the President of Royal Bahamas Caribbean, Royal Caribbean Bahamas Limited. Well, I'm making up all kind of names. He's responsible for the Bahamas segment of Royal Caribbean. We'll find on the second, right? But his real title is Royal Caribbean Bahamas President.